Okay, yeah, the other stuff's still down there. All right. So hey, we're on.
We're on again. We're on again now. On our last session, you said you hadn't seen the new Stadium Club Chrome, so I thought I'd show you one.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in
Clemente.
person, man. I haven't seen any around here, so man, that's a nice shine on there.
Like I said, I don't get too excited about old players. Yeah, I don't get too excited about old players on new cards, but
New,
these Stadium Club Chrome are nice.
yeah, like when I started putting together my Mickey Mantle collection, all I want is the base. I just want the base playing days. I just want his playing day card. That's my goal. But just people always send me like all these newer cards, and man, I got a stack of them. You know what I mean? But I never really buy them. But people just send me any Mickey Mantle card that they have or come across. What's up, Ron Fig?
Yeah, so many cards they make of these players nowadays. So it's the same with me. People will send me Clementes all the time, and I mean, you can't ever run out of them. They're in every product. So it's just an infinite amount of those players you can collect.
What's
Oh,
up,
I
the
got to
Rice
turn the
Aroni?
comments on. I always forget to do that. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Hey, Lou Rock, jump on. I sent you the link.
look, you're supposed to be on.
I sent you the link in that text message. Just press on the link.
I got
Uh,
my Clemente jersey on for you.
hey, how's it going, Ultimate Nintendo Gamer? Yeah, Thrice Aroni, the wife's test she took on Sunday came back negative today, so
Good.
it's like a miracle now. Now, oh, woo!
That's good. So Caesar, when we were on, when was that? Was that yesterday?
Yeah,
Wow, time flies. Um, so you had mentioned that you had two dream cards,
yeah.
right? Well, you're only gonna have one now because I ordered you one.
No way.
Well, you know that the Steve Dralkowski rookie card you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's been on my want list too. And so I've been looking at that card, ironically. And so I figure if I'm going to pick up one, why not pick up two?
Oh, dude, thanks, man. The only other person I know that has one is baseball collector, Mike. He
Yeah,
has one. He has an
well,
autograph
not,
one.
not not only is it a short print tough card, but few people know his story. Maybe
Yeah.
you should tell me his story. Refresh me.
Well, if you were to ask modern, not modern day players, but pitchers, our heroes in pitching, like Nolan Ryan, just guys that pitch in the '80s and stuff, like who was like the best arm that they ever saw in person, and all of them will point to Dukowski.
Yeah.
And he only pitched like one game, and as soon as he started the game, popped his elbow. You know what I mean? But they say that a lot of the story from Major League, the movie Major League, is kind of loosely based on his story. Where he could just throw 100 and something miles an hour, but couldn't control it. You know?
Oh yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know Major League was based on anybody. Hey, Lou Rock, you remember you were texting the wrong number, so he didn't get that. I'm gonna send it to him now.
Yeah, the where you were texting back with us should be. Oh man, am I losing stuff?
I don't know. You know that there was a different in there. I don't know if that's him or not. I think you were texting the wrong person because they came back and said
Wildcat, you like my
wrong
my
time, wrong
Miami
number.
jersey?
What's that? You're freezing up.
Oh man, is this thing breaking up?
You're frozen up.
It's freezing. Hopefully, it's not freezing too bad. How's everybody out there doing, man? Wicked discounts. I didn't see you in here. What's up, Wicked? Man, let me see.
Ultimate Nintendo Gamer. I don't know how. Can you send a link on here?
On here? I don't think I
Yeah.
can leave a comment on here.
Oh, maybe you could private chat.
I heard you could do that. Oh, I hear he is, I think. Yep.
There he is.
All right, where am I at? Here we go.
What I'm wearing for you?
Try to get the background.
The heartthrob of the card community also came on. Check them out.
Arena Boys. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
We need to get him on. We need to get him on with Pepino. That'd be fun. Hey, Lou Rock, you have one of these? I pulled this out for you. I wanted to show you. Do you have one of those?
No, I don't. I saw one at a flea market, but it was roached out, so I didn't get it.
You could. You used to be able to get these for next to nothing.
What was that? 7-Eleven?
Yeah, 7-Eleven from I think 72.
Hey, John. Pro tip. You see the 68?
Oh yeah.
I got that clip frame. That quick.
Did you get this frame?
Yeah, Hobby Lobby, baby.
These are the best frames, man, for anything like that. I have so many of them.
I bought 2. The other one's empty. I'm waiting for that 68 mantle. I got my eye on that or the 72 Clemente.
Now, did you ever see one of these?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, my uncle had this hanging in his barber shop the whole time I was growing up. He had one of these hanging up. You know, when Clemente got his 3,000th hit, he was only the 11th player in history to do it.
Man had a cannon.
Oh man, did he have a cannon?
Only thing closest that I could, that I've seen is Vladimir Guerrero Sr.
Yeah, he had a good arm.
Oh my God. I saw him in warm-ups from the warning track, throwing it over the visitor's dugout.
Yeah, Carlo Furillo had a good arm too. He was known for his arm.
Yeah, but I was waiting for the link. I was watching Ken Burns baseball, on MLB Network. I need baseball, and so I have that recorded. And they were talking about the 1941 year with DiMaggio and Williams, and phenomenal.
Yeah, it's I've been catching that this week. And the 41 year it's interesting because if you don't know that both happened in the same year, you tell everybody that Ted Williams didn't win the MVP the year he batted 406, but they just happened to happen on the same in the same year. And a lot of people don't know that DiMaggio was only inches away when that streak was broken. And I guess somebody made a nice play on him. And after that game, he went another 17 games in a row with a hit. So it could have been much longer. And there was one year where he only struck out like 7 times the entire season, something like that.
In that 41 year, he struck out 13 times.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. DiMaggio was such a great ball player. And I know, his cards are pricey and all, but I still don't think he gets enough hobby love or baseball love, honestly. He was great.
I'm looking for him.
It's a trip. It's a trip like how far apart the record is, like the actual record for the hitting streak. Because when people hit in a 10-game hitting streak, people are so impressed by that. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Yeah, like he's on a 10-game hitting streak. It's like, dude, that's nowhere near the record.
Yeah, I mean, that might be one of those records that's never broken. There's always the argument: what's more difficult, hitting 400 or that hitting streak? 400 has been approached since. Yeah. Right. Like Tony Gwynn.
Gwynn had 396. I think Gwynn had.
Brett was up there. Ichiro was up there one year. What did he bat? Like 388 or something. And Tony Gwynn gave it a chase, although that was a strike short season, so he didn't have as many games. But people have given it a run. No one's even come close to that 56-game hitting streak. Well, I think it was Pete Rose who came the closest. What do you have?
Yeah, in the 80s.
Did he have 44?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so
44 is a great number.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But I
We're
love
talking.
I'm sorry, but I love watching Ken Burns because every time I see it, I learn something new. My wife is like, "You're watching this again?"
Yeah,
And this time, I don't know how I missed it, but they're talking about Ted Williams and like this how he took it down to a science. He loved his 35-inch bat, 35 ounces. But what I didn't pick up on the previous 10 times I saw it, he used to get a bottle cap to put grooves in the handle. Because everyone back it was old school. No one had gloves. So he put grooves in the handle with a bottle cap just to get that nice grip.
yeah.
I was like, oh, I love stuff like that.
Well, that's funny. Stan Musial talked about when he was a kid, and he credits his good hitting for they used to hit bottle caps. They'd throw bottle caps, and he said that they were so small and they would move so drastically that it helped his eye hand coordination.
They do that in Puerto Rico a lot. They still do it in Puerto
Oh,
Yeah,
Rico
really?
yeah.
with
I
a
mean, I
broomstick.
love that's one of the greatest things about watching like Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Like the way he chased a lot of balls and got hits.
Yeah.
That he had no business swinging at in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I think he hit a couple like off that hit the dirt first, and then he got a hold of them.
Well, Roberto Clemente's best friend was the same way, Manny Sanguillen, a great bad ball hitter. He'd swing at everything and had over a 300 average.
Yeah, I just I didn't just read a story, but I read an article again. I'm always trying to read and find out new stuff, but Senguin wasn't at Clemente's funeral. Wasn't he like still looking for Clemente?
Yeah, he was looking for his body.
Yeah, it's so tragic. I mean, that's a friend to the end. Like he just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I got a friend request on Facebook, and I'm like, who's messing with me? It was Manny Sanguillen, and I'm like, one of my friends is playing a prank on me or something, But I have this Pirates Collectors page, and a guy that I know on there told him to friend me because he was on my Pirates page. It's like somebody's messing with me here.
What's up,
So,
Warrior?
Hey, we were talking about Clemente's arm. So when I was in the 5th grade, we had a Roberto Clemente book, and every recess I would read that book, like the whole recess. And this book was all beat up and wrinkled all over the cover and everything. And finally, after doing this for weeks on end, my teacher came up to me and she's like, "Here, just take it home with you." And she gave it to me. It's all beat up, but I still have that book. But in that book, he was my idol, and I wanted to have a good arm, and I did have a good arm. That's the one good thing I had. If I could catch up with it, I caught it, and I had a really good arm. So one thing that he did, and he talked about in the book, was he used to squeeze a rubber ball to strengthen his grip, and he said that's how he got his arm strong. So I would sit there for hours, and I would squeeze a rubber ball every chance I got.
Kind of like Over the Top, that rock, Stallone.
Yeah, yeah.
Movie. Such an underrated movie. That's.
Oh, yeah, man, come on.
Yeah, Over the Top, baby. People think I do this because of Ken Griffey. No, it's because of Stallone, baby.
Okay, I'll play along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one's too small to go that way. Hey, did you ever see one of these? You know what? Let me take it out of here.
What you got?
Speaking of Griffey Jr., the Griff
I saw that.
The Ken Girthometer.
Yo, John, quick question, brother, because you know about rare cards. Your whole collection is rare cards. Pete Gray, does he have a baseball card?
No, not from his playing days.
No.
How
about like in the 60 Fleer set, how they always have like I know he's not all time great.
No, he doesn't.
It'd be great.
They made like after the all-time great sets. Like I think the first one he might appear on is probably in the early 80s.
Because I mean, people talk like Jim Abbott to me is phenomenal. Like how he doesn't get more hobby love is crazy. Yeah. But again, watching Ken Burns, this dude struck out 11 times in like 230 at bats.
Yeah. You know what? I take that back. He has a set in the I have it laying around. It's in the 70s.
Oh, really?
You know what? They were like one-hit wonders. It was a one-hit wonder set. It's kind of an obscure set, but it has all the players that, it has Eddie Geidel and Ron Nakai and players like that.
Is it just a
I don't,
short
I don't know if
story?
you know Ron Nakai.
What's that?
Have either of you ever heard of Ron Nakai?
No, it doesn't ring any bells.
He's the only player in professional baseball in any league to strike out 27 batters in a game. And he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They brought him up before he was ready. They had a really bad team in '52, and they brought him up too soon. He was supposed to have had a phenomenal curveball and a really good fastball, but he didn't fare too well in his first outing or few outings, and he ended up really never making it.
Let's add just a couple of questions. There's a lot of
I'm trying to see
on the comments.
Jordan Yamamoto. Oh, the Mets got Jordan. I got autos. Look like the bad guy from Tombstone. You know what I learned?
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Right.
Yeah.
Pirates.
W Vogs, we could talk sometime, man.
I know W Vogs got that NBA thing going on. I saw his video recently. But I was just reading that the Pirates were interested in Josh Gibson. I had no idea.
Oh, were they? I didn't know that.
Yeah, like what was it? I was reading? They were inquiring because there was nothing in the bylaws that stated that Negro players couldn't be integrated at that time. So the Pirates were not fishing around, but trying to ask permission to go check out and talk to Josh Gibson. And who was that at the time? Was it Linden?
Linden?
Yeah, Linden. Was he the commish at the time? He put a kibosh in it. And
man, I would have loved to have Josh Gibson cards.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you knew more of it. It was something I saw like 2 weeks ago. I've been wanting to ask you.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. Of course, in 1971, they fielded the first all-black starting lineup.
Yep.
Yeah. And like it was kind of surprising. It wasn't something that was particularly planned, right? It just like, whoa, just happened to be.
Yeah, what happened was the story is
happened.
Gene Alley, their regular shortstop, got hurt, and Richie Hebner, their regular third baseman, got hurt. And Dave Cash was either a rookie or a second-year player, and he was a second baseman. So they moved him to third to fill in for Richie Hebner. And then they had Jackie Hernandez, who was their backup shortstop, and they plugged him in at shortstop. And I don't know if you guys, if you're familiar with the Lou Brock 1976 Lou Brock card, you'll see a player in the back, a Pittsburgh Pirate, and that is Jackie Hernandez. That picture was taken like 2 or 3 years before that card was made. Everybody thinks that was Frank Tavares, but it was Jackie Hernandez, number 2.
Man, Hernandez brothers in the background are controversial cards, aren't they? Like the basketball one?
Yeah, that new one, they just found them. I mean, I don't know. They're always finding stuff.
Oh, the Melendez.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah, the Menendez brothers.
What was funny was people were buying that card for like 30, 40, $50. But at the time, you could buy a box of hoops for $10. But they're buying the card for 30. It's like...
Yeah, it's like that hoops card with Michael Jordan wearing the number 12 in the background because of the time his shirt was stolen. I mean, I have like 30 of them. They're worth nothing because they made 4 million of them.
Yeah, it's the same thing was the deal with the Bo Jackson, the score Bo Jackson. Wearing the pads and stuff.
I have.
I mean, I get a dollar box all day. I used to send one out with every care package. That was like my thing because I had hundreds of them. I would buy every single one I ran across.
Still one of the cards though.
Yeah, still one of my favorite cards. And his 87 Topps is one of my favorite cards too. I love that card for some reason.
The Future Star.
Yeah, I have it in a case. I don't care if it's worth $1. I don't care if it's worth $0.25. I love that card.
86 Topps Conseco. I love that card. Just with the back shoulder. I got it displayed.
I love the 86 Barry Bonds too.
Oh yeah, I got that one up.
Yeah,
86 traded. That's one of my favorite sets of all time as far as content.
Yeah.
86 traded. I
Heck
mean,
yeah. Will Clark was in that. Kevin Mitchell.
I believe Wally Joyner.
Yeah, Wally Joyner, right?
Yeah, it was a great set, man.
It was loaded with rookies. You know, you don't
Look,
you don't often see that many rookie cards in one year. Big
Nah.
rookie
and they
players.
were pretty much their prospect cards, as to how we define them today.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out. There's
Well,
the
I mean, they were special back then. Now they make 2,700 of every rookie. You know. I mean, there are guys that may never make the big leagues that have 400 or 500 cards out.
So we're getting a tour right here.
Yeah. Well, today I was catching up on my YouTube because I've been working crazy hours with the Super Bowl in town, and I was watching Elite Hunters James. You gotta watch. If you don't know Elite Hunters, James is a cool cat.
Yeah, he is.
Because he has a 53 mantle. Guy's collection is sick. It's just like John's. But what was interesting was he was at the Dallas Card Show, and I saw a PSA 8 rookie card of Magic and Bird. The guy just had a $50,000 price tag on it. I'm like, that sounds expensive. So I go on eBay and start looking up the PSA 7 because that's what I have. It's selling for 5 G's. 6 months ago, it just hit. I was like, oh, this is my first comic card. 6 months ago, and now it's selling. Those were sold listings. That's not trying to get 5,000. Sold for 5,000. I'm like, it's unbelievable what the basketball market is doing.
Yeah.
I just can't get over it. But I'm not gonna sell it. Because it's like after Jordan, it's like who you want. You want Bird and Magic. That's like
and there's supposed to be a Magic documentary coming out or something too, right? I think Larry Bird and I think Bird and Magic kind of thing.
I have that card hanging on my wall.
You gotta display. It doesn't belong in a box, bro.
It makes a nice display on my wall.
What you got? SGC? I love SGC, man. I love how it pops.
Yeah, me too. That's I couldn't buy that card today.
W Boggs, your favorite design is 84 tops. Nice. I got two card sheets, of the 84 tops on my wall.
Hold on, answer questions.
Lou Rock, I was showing Pepino before you got on. Did you see the Clemente in this year's Stadium Club Chrome?
Yeah, I got the Stadium Club. I can't find Chrome anywhere. I actually have a buddy in Missouri who got 3 blaster boxes for me. So I just got to PayPal him the money, hoping to get that. But if I don't get it, I'll just buy it.
It's such a beautiful card. I mean, it's hard to get excited about, Clemente in a 2020 card, but it's a nice one.
Yeah, I get it, man. But when you have the whole run, you got to get the new stuff.
Yeah.
And that Stadium Club's imagery is just the best, bar none. And that one, him sliding in, is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I think that's from the 71 World Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a lot of those pictures, a lot of the photographs in the Stadium Clubs. I'm like, where's this cameraman at? Because some of those angles are
the pictures.
They're on the top of the dome or something, looking straight down.
Yeah, they gotta.
Or maybe they're using drones these days.
They gotta use drones.
So, little known fact about Clemente. How about some little known facts about Clemente? Number one, he's the only player in history to hit a inside the park walk-off home run. Did you know that? Grand slam.
I was gonna say grand slam. I thought.
Yeah, not too many people know that.
I mean, I was talking about that one day when I got on YouTube on one of my YouTube videos, and I say he was the only person that ever hit inside the park grand slam, and then like all kinds of people commented, no, this. I was like, oh, I had no idea anybody else had done it since him. I didn't know.
No, he's the only one to hit a inside the park walk-off grand slam.
A walk-off grand slam.
Yeah.
Win it.
And something else people might not know is that he had a hit in every World Series game he ever played in. He played in 14.
That I didn't know.
And something else a lot of people don't realize is he had the highest batting average of the 1960s. And that's saying something, playing alongside Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and those guys.
Right? It's like Duke Snyder, I believe, had the most home run in the 50s. You know,
Yeah.
it's not the people first come to mind.
Yeah.
50s, you would think, oh, it's got to be Mickey Mantle, or it's got to,
Yeah, but if you look at the leaders cards in the 60s, Clemente's all over them.
Yeah.
You know, every year.
That's
I
one of the things.
63 is like the only year he's not.
That's one of the
he
the
dominated
things,
the 60s. Well, he got batting titles in 64, 65, 67, 61. I mean, he
MVP.
dominated.
Yeah, MVP in 66, 317 lifetime batting average, 12 consecutive gold gloves,
67 World Series MVP,
71 World Series MVP.
Oh, 71, yes, thank you. How do you share eBay seller? I'm trying to share the link.
You just copy it. There's a place that you could share and just hit copy link.
I need my son. I hate technology, bro.
Hey, but your intro was awesome. You know, with that, you filmed it with the drone, right, your friend?
I did. So that's a funny story. So it was Thanksgiving. We were all drinking, and my brother's making fun of me. He's like, "I can't believe you started a YouTube channel." I'm like, "Well, no one around here talks cards," and I was getting bored. It's hard when you're just by yourself. You know, you're buying cards. And then you get it, and you're the only one that enjoys it. And you're the only one that can really appreciate it, because when your friends come over and see all this, the first question they ask is, "How much is that worth?
Right.
What's your most expensive?"
That's the question right there.
I'm like, let me tell you how I found it. Let me tell you, what it took for me to get it. Let me tell you why I got it. That's the stuff I like talking about.
Yep.
So I started watching, honestly, I started watching breakers. I was like, this is cool, because I couldn't afford a lot of the stuff. And that got boring real quick, because I'm like, that's not really what I do. I like ripping, especially with my little one. That's fun, because that's how I was when I was a kid. But I like getting cards that mean something to me. The Clementes, the Yankees, vintage, Cepeda. My grandfather loved Cepeda. And so that's how I found Pepino, Baseball Collector, a whole bunch of those channels, and that was it. So as they were making fun of me doing that, back to the drone story, my buddy's a photographer, and he was fucking around with his drone, and my brother's like, we should do it some kind of intro. I'm like, bro, you're drunk, we ain't gonna do no intro. And it took 2 shots. And Mike, Canadian Cards, he asked me one day, he was texting me, he's like, what were you throwing? I'm like, best believe it wasn't baseball cards. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I would never throw a baseball card. I don't care if it's a damn Topps 89. I'm not throwing baseball cards. I love baseball cards. It was a whole bunch of 89, 90 Pro Set hockey cards. I was throwing. He's like, hockey cards? I'm like, yeah, I got them in the garage. You buy collections, and they're mixed in there. I'll go through, see if there's Gretzky or Messier, the only 2 Lemieux. And if they're not in there, then I'll just put them in a box in my garage, and if a kid wants them, I give it to them. But they were used to be thrown for that intro.
You mean there's not a lot of hockey rinks in Florida?
Well, the Lightning, Stanley Cup champs, I know them. I know Stammer, Stamkos, and the likes of them. But surprisingly, yeah, it's a big hockey town. Hockey players like hanging out here. They could train and go to the beach in the afternoon afterward. So
You in Tampa?
Yeah, I'm in Tampa.
Man, my favorite restaurant's in Tampa.
Where you like Burns Steakhouse?
Yes. Yep. I like that place, and I like the Columbia too.
Oh yeah, that's a staple.
They have the best sangria, man. I talked one of them into giving me the recipe. I make it at home.
Do you really? Man, you're a man of many talents.
Yeah,
my wife loves
I love Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa's a great spot. St. Pete's beautiful. My brother stays in St. Pete, but that's why I like cigars. I mean,
Oh yeah.
This is cigar capital.
Yep.
So.
Ebor's.
Oh yeah, and people don't know about the mobster history about Ebor. I try to tell them, I'm like, if you watch Boardwalk Empire, they touch on it a little bit towards the end with Traficante and all that. But mob money is still deep over here. It's old money.
Yeah.
But Tampa's rich with history, and I love history. That's probably why I love baseball cards.
Yeah, I always liked it there. The Columbia back in the day, I don't know if they still do this, but on Friday and Saturday nights, they would have the Castanut dancers. And they were pretty cool. Those women with the hair, slick back hair, and
Every once in a while, they have live music. But yeah, every once in a while they'll have the dancers there and everything like that. Tourists love it. So yeah, it's a good.
I do love that place. And then you go upstairs for the dessert. It's such a dining experience. When you go there, you have to leave yourself 2 or 3 hours. You don't just go.
Take the tour. They give you the tour. Go through the kitchen, then you see their wine cellar, which is unbelievable. Well,
their off-site wine cellar is like blows that away.
Yes,
that's just what they have there. And at one time, they had the largest private collection of wine in the country. I don't know if they still do. I mean, they had a bottle back. I think it went back to the 1700s.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know who's going to order that. I think that's just more so they can say it. I don't think.
You're not gonna. I mean, it probably tastes horrible. It's vinegar by now. But I ordered a bottle from like 1978 or something. I
have an aged beer.
Paps.
Nah, you guys saw this one. Rude Dog sent me the Roberto Clemente.
Oh, there you go. I never saw that one.
Coors, baby. I'm right there with you, homie.
I got the 93 McDonald's glass.
That's a good one. I got that card. I got the Wheaties box.
Did you ever see this? Make sure it's not upside down.
Oh, yes. And I had a chance and I was outbidded. I was going to get it for a steal. I think I was going to get it for like $250.
The whole sheet? The whole sheet or the...
No, just the Clemente.
Yeah. This is how they came. This is just the inside. I have the cover too in a different frame. Oh, but they came. They were almost like back in the day when I was little. We had something called color forms. They were little like rubbery things that you would stick to a board. These kind of remind me of that. But pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, the next Clemente I want that's attainable, but for some reason I could have pulled the trigger and I think I went with a mantle instead, and I'm kicking myself over it. Yeah, the 64 Topps stand insert with the yellow background. And it was a PSA 5.
Beautiful one.
Yes, I know.
The mantle, that mantle's pricey. If you could get your hands on the mantle, I'd probably buy that first too.
Well, I didn't buy the mantle. It was just a 64 Topps mantle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't
did you ever see this one? This is kind of an obscure one from Canada.
No, I don't know that one. Which one's that?
The 1972 Pro Star Promotions.
No. And that's a Canadian?
This is a pretty rare card too. The 65 McGregor. Did you ever see that one?
No, I'm looking it up right now.
Man, that looks classic right there.
Yeah, there's a Willie Mays of this I want. This is a tough
that one. I've seen that one.
This is a tough set. Of course, he had all kind of cards like from KDKA TV, radio, East Hills.
Do you have the gold premiere in a box?
I don't. What year was it? Was it 96 or 98 when Topps made all his reprint cards?
97, I thought.
97?
Yeah, when they had with the label on it, they had like some kind of.
I think I have them around here somewhere.
Is that what you're talking about?
They made all the reprint cards, and then it was either the year before or the year after they did it with Mickey Mantle.
What's up,
the gold borders. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they had like the
97
stamp on it.
Yeah.
I want to say it's 97.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a long time since I bought those, so I'm having a hard
Yeah,
time.
I have them in. I have them in an album right now.
Like this one.
57, baby.
I can look it up. I got them available. Where is? I'm still trying to figure out how to. Let me just copy and paste this.
Oh, somebody. It cometh an egg said 96 Mantle, 97 Clemente. Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank
97.
you.
See, my man, egg.
Yeah, come up for Egg's a Florida man now. He lives in Florida too.
He's a
is
future
that
Hall
right?
of Famer. Egg is a future Hall of Famer right there, homie.
You know, I lived in Florida. I lived in Miami for 3 years, right? Miami area.
Yeah, you look like the Miami type. I bet you had shoes with no socks on. You got the fancy leather Italian.
No, I didn't live there that long ago. Come on, man. That's the 80s.
Oh, so you had the
Miami Vice that started that.
Yeah, you had the jacket rolled up to the elbow.
No, I will tell you this. I spent a lot of time in South Beach. One night I ran into Dennis Rodman.
Oh.
He looked like a pincushion. He had so many piercings. And some girl was talking to him, and I'm standing right next to him, you know, talking to him. And all of a sudden, these girls break out into a fight. Some girl was talking to him, and his girlfriend got all mad, and I was in the middle of this ruckus. It was crazy. And I was in Fat Joe's entourage at Club Bed. That was a fun experience right there. And
Rapper?
Yeah, the rapper.
A lean back. I'm still trying to figure out how to share this thing. Oh well. If anyone's interested in those frames, someone was asking me. The username is Penzoli. Pennzoni. If you just type in like baseball card display for graded cards or whatever on eBay, he'll pop right up. He's like the #1 seller for frames.
Yeah, those are the ones I have as well.
Yeah, he's great. He's gone up in price. I guess he's gotten pretty popular.
Yeah, probably. The smaller ones you could get for like 35 when I used to get them.
Yeah, the Hobby Lobbies. The thing is, I'm not.
No, the Penzoni or whatever they're called.
I got you. Yeah, I got these. I'm doing my for my steroid wing. The steroid wing I'm doing in my room.
Oh yeah.
Those are Hobby Lobby. I get those for like 30 bucks, but I'm not a fan of the snap tights. That's why I'm doing all my junk wax guys in there.
Yeah, those cases are way better because you can put ungraded if you want, you know, in a snap case or something. You can do different things with them. Yeah. You can put sideways cards.
Yep.
Like I see people display their sideways cards like this.
It drives me crazy
because it's in a PSA holder, and I just want to turn it around because I want to see my card. I don't want to see. I hate to see it sideways.
There was a great philosopher that once said, "Baby, I like it raw. I don't need no PSA." Oh yeah, that philosopher was ODB.
And when you buy his card on eBay, you better have his money.
Oh man.
Oh man, what was I gonna say?
Little whiskey, baby. Little horse soldiers. Nice. Check it out.
Oh, Pele Mama Gaming wants to know if Lou Rock is a Yankees fan.
Hell to the Empire, baby. I was born in Flatbush, Brooklyn. So people always ask, how you a Clemente fan? And well, I was born in Brooklyn. I lived in the Northeast for a long time. My father was in the military. But just like how people talk about Mickey, Jackie Robinson, Clemente is a folk hero in Puerto Rico. I mean, you can't go anywhere without seeing Clemente. And I learned about him from an early age. I did a book report in 6th grade on him, and that's where it just started. And yeah, I got all kinds of stuff, Clemente. I got bobbleheads, I got cereal boxes, I got beer cans. I can't get enough of it.
It come up for Egg seems to be pushing for us to get drunk and have a big rant.
Wait, well, what? I'm in a good place. What do you want me to rant about? I could talk about
exactly, man. What there to complain about, man? Life is good.
So yeah, John, there's a question for me on there. John Sports Card wants to know what area of Pittsburgh I'm from. I grew up in Youngwood, Pennsylvania, which is the home to George Blanda. Joe Montana grew up down the road. So did Stan Musial, Ken Griffey, and Ken Griffey Jr. And also the heavyweight champ Michael Moore and Arnold Palmer, to name some. But anyway, I grew up in that's where I grew up, but essentially Greensburg, if you know where that is. And it's near Latrobe, where Rolling Rock beer is made.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Damn.
a funny story. So Rolling Rock, when we were in college and everything, we didn't even want to drink that crap. You know, nobody wanted to drink it. So it was a local beer. I mean, some people were fanatical about it, right? They loved it, but most of us didn't. So I go over to Africa and I'm sitting down with this attorney from San Francisco, and we get into a discussion. Now I'm in Africa talking to a guy from San Francisco, and he's telling me he's into these craft beers, right? And so I'm asking him what his favorite craft beer is, and he's like, "Oh, you wouldn't know it if I told you it's some little brewery." And he pulls Rolling Rock out. That was the craft beer he was into. I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! We don't even drink that stuff."
Yeah, you know what? You just made me remember. My pops went to Slippery Rock University. Well, it was a college back
Oh
then.
yeah.
So when he said Rolling Rock, you know, he was always like, "Yeah, we were the Rocks." Like,
no, Slippery Rock's not too far away. I had friends that went to college there, so I went there to party. You know, I was there maybe once or twice.
that you can remember.
If there was a college nearby, I mean, you know, I was there.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I partied at Pitt a lot. I had friends that went to Pitt. I partied in West Virginia a lot too. University of West Virginia. My one of my best friends was a bouncer at like the most famous bar there, so it was packed all the time, and he'd get me in.
Victor brings up an excellent point. Dustin Pedroia retired today. I thought the Laser Show was done 5 years ago. Damn Laser Show, overrated. Come on,
he had a great World Series, man. He had a great playoff, man. You know.
If he even sniffs the Hall of Fame,
what is that?
Then Jeff Kent belongs in the Hall of Fame. Oh, look at that!
I love this bus, a replica of the Yankees bus.
I like that.
I love this thing, man. A lot of people always get on me like, "That's a Yankees." I was like, "Dude, I love the bus, and I know it's a Yankee. If it was a Dodger one, I would have bought it, but it was a Yankee one, you know."
Hey, John Cards, I just wanted to reply to him. You know, not only is it not a craft beer, it was purchased by Labatt's and then purchased by Budweiser. I don't think that qualifies as a craft beer.
What made it a craft beer? Is putting the horse on it?
Well, you know what? I mean, honestly, it was. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I mean, we didn't drink it, but it was well respected back home.
I drank.
There was there was always the controversy, or everybody wondered. There's this 33 on the back of the bottle, and there's all these stories of why is there a 33, and no one ever knows. But anyway, I found out what that is. When you, in the old days, when you had typewriters and you would do a press release, at the end of the press release, you would put a 33, and that meant that it was done. So when you would do an advertisement or a press release, that's what you would use to say that's the end of it. And so the story goes that when they did their label for the bottle, they sent that out, and the 33 ended up getting printed, and then they left that on over time. So I believe that's the real story from one of the presidents of that company.
For a long time, I was infatuated. I had this weird thing with the number 44. Like, I used to write it everywhere. On my car radio, the volume had to be 44. Like, it was weird. All right. Yeah. And, it all started. I don't know if you guys heard heard me tell this story before, but I went to a thrift store. I was at a thrift store, and I found there was a Reggie Jackson jersey, but the last 4 was falling off. Right. So I take it to a couple of shops around my where I lived, and they didn't have that number. And I went to the soccer jersey place, and they're like, yeah, we got it. You know, left it there, came back like a week later to pick it up, and they put a 9 instead of a 4. I was like, it's supposed to be 44. And they're all like, oh, we didn't have a 4. We had a 9. It looks like a 4. And I was like, no, 44. I was like, 44. I was like, so I got infatuated with the number 44. I used to write it on everything. My drags at work, I used to put 44 on them. But I was like, I couldn't understand these people. I was like, they do this for a living, and I have a 44 jersey, and they just think it's cool to put a 9.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Now it's not Reggie Jackson jersey anymore.
Hey, Sean Tiford, I love Yingling. That's a good beer.
Yes, Yingling. Speaking of Tampa, there's a brewery of Yingling. They give tours all the time. It's real good. My man, Sean Tiford, man of the people. Love that guy.
Sean's a good guy. I'm a big fan. Hey, who has some questions for us? Get Pepino Man. Get a good question for Pepino Man. It's always fun to hear him answer.
I gotta go get another beer real quick. You know what? I can take it with me.
Beans ball, man, might be able to get my wife to the National someday, bro. I don't know about the. I mean, I rented a room for the National just in case. I'm not doing plane tickets because I lost money for Atlantic City last year. And the Airbnb thing, you'll lose your money too. So it's just easier. I got a hotel room for a couple days, but I don't know. I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna go to a Dallas show. Maybe they do it quarterly, 400 tables. It's still pretty big, but
nah, man, you gotta go to Chicago.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Stay with me in my room. Stay with me in my room. You can stay for free.
You have your tickets booked?
No, I don't know if you guys know, but like after the first show, I went. I won plane tickets to Chicago on a giveaway contest. So that's how I got to go to the National, and I stayed at my friend's JMVP's house. I stood at his house the whole time. So I kind of went for free. And then after that, like I said, people were asking me if I was going next year, and I was like, I don't think I could afford it. Only reason I went was because I was basically a charity case, without asking. But Filmington held an auction for me, and he raised enough money for my plane ticket and my hotel.
Oh, so, nice.
I got a room if anybody wants to stay. You want to stay, Lou Rock, but I'm on top. There's no bunk beds. But I'm on top.
Well, I got a room just in case. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, as we get closer. But it's just one of those things. I always have a plan. I'm an Army man. I always got a plan. So I do have a room. It's easy to get plane tickets. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But plan B, if National falls through, I'm definitely hitting a Dallas show and go see the guys out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, if we decide at the last minute, let's just take a road trip. You can drive up and pick me up in South Carolina, and we'll head over.
What, to Chi-Town, Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
Then I'll hit every card shop on the way and back.
Okay, you already beat me to it. I want to do it Griswold style. I rent a Suburban.
There you go.
Hopefully baseball's going on. Maybe catch, a game or two. That's what I want. I wanted to hit one or two stadiums on the way up to Chicago. That was my original plan. So,
well, if you ever come to Charleston, I get I can score into the VIP area there at the River Dogs. We only have minor league.
Only the best.
Their VIP section's nice. They always have a big spread and a bar. It's a nice place to win, and you can go out and watch a game and come back in anytime you're hungry or whatever.
You had me at bar. What we got going on here? But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping. I'm optimistic, but it's just one of those things.
Yeah, that was going to be my first one. So I was very disappointed.
I know Dallas is going to be open. That's what I'm saying. Chicago is just, who knows? But Dallas, Texas is going to be wide ass open. So
yeah.
So, funny story. This is a Russell Wilson rookie card. So, you guys all know my mini-me, Bob. My oldest is 14. He's about to be 15. And I wanted him to get into the hobby years ago. And he was into it. I bought him, same thing. I bought him albums. He wanted to do football. He was never into baseball. He quit baseball, but he liked football. He loved the Seahawks. More for the colors than anything, but he liked the Seahawks. So, of course, I went all in. I'm like, hell yeah. You can have my cards from when I was a kid. All my Deion Sanders rookie cards, my Brett Favre rookie cards. It was a whole bunch. It was junk wax area. The Emmitt Smith rookie cards, and I got tired of going into his room and they were on the floor. driving me bananas on the floor. Everything was on the floor.
Yeah.
So fast forward to this, I took him. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of seeing him on the floor. You don't care about him. I bought him a video game. He's like, all right, Dad, that's a fair trade. Aside from all the lights and this beautiful house I give him, I had to buy him a game to get my cards back. So, so in the beginning of the year, you know, Russell Wilson was killing it. Everyone's talking about, oh, he's the MVP. He might be the MVP. Yeah. I'm like, huh. Let me go do a rummage through my football collection because I mean the kid liked the Seahawks. I know I bought him some Wilsons. I know I got him a couple jersey cards. So I find this in his album, Super Minty. It's like an X Factor for tops. And I go on eBay, and at the time it was selling upwards raw for $300. Nice. And he's like, Dad, isn't that card I gave you? I'm like, first off, you didn't give me nothing. And yeah, it's selling for $300. He's like, well, if you sell it, can I get a percentage? I'm like, what's 10% of zero? Like, huh? I'm like, I'm not selling it. I don't sell nothing. I might trade it in the future because I'm not a Russell Wilson guy, and baseball is my number one. But I just love stories like that. I just rummaging.
So, guys, I got this card recently. This is kind of a cool Joe Tinker, the 1910 Philadelphia Caramel.
I love the color on that. That red just pops right there.
Yeah, it's a pretty. I had never seen one before, so I kind of fell in love with it.
It's amazing how those old cards, the color, how they withheld the time, you know?
Yeah, and red is the first one to fade. You never want to put red anywhere near light. It'll fade quickly.
All those old cards, man, they had the bold backgrounds, of solid green or solid blue. It's like they're still solid colored, like they're.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Those old cards, though, they're like little works of art. Yes. They're just.
That's why I laugh at my friends who just got into the hobby, and they're all flipped. They put me on these threads and talking about all these. They're going to the stores with their bots and buying all these cards to flip, and drives me crazy. So I told them taking me off the thread because I'm collecting. But that's why I like SGC. They think of SGC as like a third-rate, card company. I'm like, SGC is a very reputable. When it comes to pre-war, I mean, look how, and the cases alone.
Yeah.
Anything pre-war, it just makes the card just pop.
I agree with you. I mean, their grading seems on point to me. You could tell.
Yeah, but to like the new cats, I think that's why PSA is so popular. Okay, you guys wanted to rant? Here's my rant. Here it comes.
Oh, good. Let's get it ready
to come off an egg.
All right. So damn PSA. Look, like I said, ODB said it best. Baby, I like it raw. I like it raw. If I find a card and when it comes to vintage, I understand the authenticity. I get it. If I buy it like that, I buy it like that. However, with this million card backlog that they have, and now that PSA has been sold to this private guy, there's no longer a public, company. What's the market going to look like when there's 10,000 more Lucas? Is it going to be worth $700 for his base rookie? I don't think so. Is it going all these cards when they flood the market? It's not going. And I think the only reason PSA is so popular is because these new cats, these babies in the hobby, PSA is the 800-pound gorilla. That's all they really know.
Yeah.
If it's not PSA, then it's not worth anything. And they get disappointed when they see a PSA 9. They'll send 20 cards, and if 2 of them are gem at 10 and everything's a 9, they're selling it pretty much for what they graded it for.
So Dave, Blue Jacket 66, right on point. He says someone's an amateur when they badmouth SGC. I agree.
That's the man who knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. There you go. That's the end all right there.
Yeah.
They just look so nice. The SGC and vintage cards are just, they look museum-y. I just love the look of them.
Is that a word, museum-y?
Yeah. Museum-y. No, I made that word up.
I like museum-y. You need to put it on a shirt.
You gotta get your SGC holder, and then you put on your white glove.
Yes.
And then you wait for all the stupid comments to come and make fun of you, and insult you.
There is one card where I'm like, and it's probably one of my favorite sets. 53 tops. Everyone loves 53 tops. I love 71 tops. I love the black border.
Yeah.
And I have a 71 Clemente, and I think it's a 6. It's the old school SGC rating, but it's like a 6. So the black on black, it almost takes away from my 71 Clemente. But besides that, everything else pretty much pops.
Yeah, but I mean, a 6 and a 71 is a good grade, man. I think my Clemente is a 6 too.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on
That's
it.
a good grade, and 71 high grade. I mean, you're gonna pay out the wazoo.
Hey, now
I bought mine 15 years ago.
Mike the car dude just say, like me and him are kind of the same way. I don't concern myself. I don't like it to be in a slab to begin with, so which slab it's in doesn't really concern me. I have a lot of GMA slabs. I have a lot of oddball slabs, companies you never even heard of.
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah, old school SGC, baby.
Well, we were talking, Pepino, the other night about when people collect certain kinds of slabs or from a certain period, you're no longer talking about the card, you're talking about slabs.
Well, that's the point I want to make. I made a video of a bunch of slabs that I have, right? And so I showed I try to show videos of just 10s. So I showed all 10s of PSAs that I have. And then like by the third video, I showed all my other 10s were like, bootleg. They were bootleg grading companies, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A bunch of different ones. But people were commenting, those cards are garbage. And it's like, I think you're mistaking the cards for the slabs.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because there's there's a Kobe rookie, there's a bunch of great cards, but they're talking about the slab. But they don't say those slabs are garbage. They say those cards are garbage.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And then if you have a PSA, from the earlier days of PSA, they don't want it, or they devalue it versus a newer slab. I'm like, what are we talking about? We're talking about slabs. Like, we're collecting slabs now.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I gotta get in the new flip. It's the same shit. Who cares if it has a hologram up front? It doesn't matter. Like, I understand.
The card, man.
Baseball collector, I think that's more his OCD. Mike, I think that's more his OCD. He has to have everything PSA.
Yeah.
But he's a collector. He's a true collector. So
well, I mean, everybody should do what they like to do. Whatever makes gives you enjoyment.
One of the things I remember is when I first got on YouTube, the registries were like a big thing. A lot of channels were about registries. Like say BBC was a big registry guy. All his cards, he was coming for a PAJ registry, and so was Ray from Chile. I know you guys know him as Ray from Philly. But they were all PSA registry guys, the 300 greatest cards. But they got to a point where they're already kind of peaked out, and they can't afford the big dog cards.
Yep.
And they just stopped making the videos. But every once in a while, they'd buy a card from the registry set that they didn't like. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, man, I had to buy this card. I didn't even want it, but just, so I can move up on the registry. And I was like, why would you do that? But I guess when you're goal oriented, you know what I mean? Because I remember BBC also, Mike, he had a little controversy stink because he bought the Roger Maris rookie as part of the registry. And he's like, I don't know why this card is worth so much. He's not even a Hall of Famer. And people jumped on him.
Yeah. So John Sports Cards wants to know what we think about CSG grading company, that new company that's coming out, or
the comic book. Well, I mean, it falls in line with what I've been saying. To me, with the type of collecting I do, it's really not going to affect me. If I find a Clemente I like and it's in that slab, either I'm going to crack it, which I doubt, or I'm just going to buy it. I buy the card. Centering, the thing to me, I know a lot of people are big on centering, but to me, I like color. If it has no wrinkles, that's a plus. But I like vivid color. I don't like fading. But yeah, especially with the older stuff, finding anything centered is so tough. And I'll go crazy trying to find something perfectly centered because the technology was so bad. That's why that goes back to my stuff now about PSA 10s. I'm like, 80%, 90% of the cards now are coming out gem mint. Is that true gem mint? I mean, if everything if everything's a fucking 10, is it really a 10?
That's what I remember. We had that conversation yesterday, John, and I says like, people send a brand new card, fresh pack pull, and it comes back at 10. They're like, whoa! And I was like, yeah, they almost all do. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they post all over Facebook. Look, it's a 2021 card. Of course, it's not that tough. Most of them should get a 10, really.
Oh
Yeah, we were giving the analogy. Like, you go to a car dealer and you buy a brand new car, you expect it not to have dents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, grading wasn't meant to grade cards. I don't think. When they started grading, to grade them right out of the pack. The whole point was, these old cards that were played with and stuff.
Yeah. Give me a PSA 553 tops. I'll take that all day.
Wait, Sean Tiford says, "I'm sorry, but the 300 greatest cards should be the ones in your PC." What does that mean?
When I got on YouTube and people were doing the registry, I started doing it myself. But with raw cards, I didn't care about the actual, because the registry is like an actual contest. Like Ray from Philly and Mike, they would buy cards and like, that moves me up to number 12. I'm number 12. And then like 2 days later, they make a video. Some guy just bought this card and now he passed me up. So, it was a crazy competition. I was really into it. But I myself, I bought the book and I started buying like a lot of the cards, like this card is like, this is from the 300 greatest registry because they're twin brothers. It's like one card with two players on it. Like it's both of their cards, the brothers,
By the way, those are two of the worst players that ever played the game. Professionally, anyway. My dad always tells me how horrible they were.
I'm with you. That frame I just showed you, they're all raw, but I looked into the PSA registry. I mean, I got the 89 Griffey. I got Pete Rose's gold cup. I love gold cups because it's the first card they had by themselves. I mean, I got Severs.
Oh, okay, Sean, I get
Reggie
you now.
Jackson. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all raw. I don't need it in the registry, but
I actually prefer raw cards. I say it all the time. I do.
I prefer the price tag too. I prefer.
Well, it's not even about that. I mean, every card has a feel and a
smell to it. My cards.
Yeah, I just noticed I don't have a single graded Roberto Clemente card. I mean, I don't have the greatest Clemente collection, but all of my Clementes are raw.
I got 60, 68, 72.
I keep a stack of bubble gum around because I like the smell of it.
But this is a wood rail.
I love that.
I got a whole bunch,
candle, bro.
Oh yeah, like when you used to open them up back in the day. Oh yeah, that was the best part. Well, there's a coupon set from I think 1911, and it looks just like the T206. Mm-hmm. Right? It looks just like them, but it's a coupon. Now, when you're collecting them in PSA, you have no idea like the thickness of the card, what it feels like, what it's like. Those cards actually are very, very thin and fragile, but you would never know that. They just, in the holder, they look just like a T206. But there's lots of cards like that. You just don't even know what they feel like. How could you ever tell a real one?
Yeah.
Those of us who grew up with these cards, I'm going to tell you, I would guarantee, I would bet a lot of money that I could tell if a card is fake or not.
Yes.
I could probably tell if it's trimmed too or touched up.
That's why I have my little mini me. I don't know if you saw my last video. I have her handling the card. I don't have her handling anything great.
213. Thank you, Dave.
But that's how the next generation is going to learn. They're going to bang the corners. They're going to put them in the album. But she has to feel the cards, smell the cards.
My buddy, I don't remember that anymore. It's like you want to put it in this encasement. This new grading company, I don't like the look of their holders. It's like the holder is more prominent than the card.
Yeah, that label is
and that bothers me. Like I don't want a big giant.
I love how old cards, they look just like the box they're in. They're they're cardboard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can smell them, you can tell the difference,
Well, you were talking about that the other night. Like at what point did cards stop being cardboard, if you got out of it for a while and now you're buying them, you're like, what is this material? Totally different to us old timers.
One of the first time I saw cards again for sale when I got back into the hobby, I think I was at Target or Walmart, and I bought a pack of Donruss, and I got a Tony Gwynn and I believe it was a Miguel Cabrera, a bat relic and jersey relic, and I had no idea what it was. I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't understand what the word relic was. You know, I only knew that from video games, but I was like, this ain't gold. This ain't, you know. And I never thought about it again, you know, till I got on YouTube and people were explaining what relics. I was like, oh, went back. Oh, it's a piece of his bat. You know, it's a piece of his jersey.
Now I have to tell you, like in the early 2000s when they started doing that, I thought that was really cool, and I was a bit of a fan. But I got really lucky. I drew a Honus Wagner, a Roberto Clemente jersey, a Jackie Robinson bat, and a Mickey Mantle jersey, like really early on in pulling those. It just seems like back then you got so much better pulls than you do nowadays.
Well, they actually use stars and
yeah,
stars, but now so you can get the hits and the ratios. They'll throw in Cedric Mullins, and Cedric Mullins was signed 10,000. But
yeah,
you're
to me, yeah, but to me that term now is used more to glorify a card, because a hit was like a great card.
Yes.
And now it's lost its meaning to where a hit is just an auto, but it could be an autograph of someone who isn't worth a damn. You know what I mean? So that's not a hit.
Some of the relics,
so that's not a hit to me anymore. You know?
Yeah, they don't always tell you what it's from. You know,
game worn.
Some of them are tricky. They'll put like a piece of a seat in the stadium, and you think you're getting, a relic of the player.
I felt ripped off when I got that Bryce Harper Speedo. I was like, I don't want his Speedo. You know, I want part of his jersey.
Hey, when they started putting relics, I don't know, late 90s, I remember reading my Tough Stuff. Yeah, I did Tough Stuff because I collected basketball and football. And I'm like, are they serious? Yeah. Are they seriously going to cut a Mickey Mantle bat? Are they seriously? That was my man. I'm like,
yeah.
I was totally against it. I was like, are they really going to cut up a jersey from Lou Gehrig? Are they seriously going? And then I pulled a relic. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to pay $10,000 at that time for a jersey.
Yeah.
$100 card.
But that's a great point. I felt the same way. I'm like, they're ruining a whole jersey for these little tiny patches.
I'm a historian, I love the history of everything.
Yeah, but it, it puts it into the hands of the fans. So maybe that's better, maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, I lost it for jersey cards was when in the NFL they would have a rookie put the jersey on, take it right back off, cut it up, and put it in a card and tell you it's a rookie jersey card.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that, John.
Yeah,
I've seen that where there'll be a Tops or a Panini guy right there in the hallway by the entrance to the clubhouse. And the guys come out, put the jersey on, take it off, and hand it back to him. And the guy tags it, authenticates it, and puts it in a basket. I've seen that.
Yeah. So they're meaningless to me now. But when they first came out, they were kind of a novelty. I liked them. And like I said, I got great pulls. I could.
Well, see, that's
But the old stuff is great. Clemente and Wagner, you said?
Well, you know what? That's what I used to like about the Stadia. You guys, you're familiar with the Stadia cards they used to have, that were out like 10 years ago? But every one of their relics or whatever, it came with a hologram and an authentication sticker where you look it up on the computer and it will tell you what game, and what he did in that game.
What series is that? What product? Topps has one where it comes with a hologram. I think I got a CC Sabathia jersey where it has a hologram sticker, and you type it in on the website, and it'll tell you the exact game.
Yes, all the stadiums used to have that.
Yeah, I have a cool one. I mean, some of them are really cool, like that Butler for New England that intercepted Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Malcolm Butler. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a relic card after that Super Bowl with a piece of the pylon from the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's cool because he won the Super Bowl with that interception. Something like that really kind of is exciting to me if it's special.
Uh-oh.
But a lot of times they'll put a pylon. I mean, you don't know where that's from. These guys are funny. They said it's relic cards are like fractional ownership.
That's good because I can't. That's the only way I can afford one.
Yeah, right.
What we got going?
Yeah, now they make relics out of everything.
Yeah, the seats. Or
it used to be.
I got dirt I got an Acuna autographed dirt card. It's probably one of my favorite cards. My son bought a blaster box for me, and I got that hit.
What's
Yeah, you see all the little rocks? Those are turfis, man.
Yeah, let me see if I got it.
at John Mangini? I'm debating about putting my 68 mag.
Oh, your Manto in a mag?
I don't
In a
understand.
one touch?
Dirt, baby. Autographed dirt.
Oh yeah, dirt's great.
But I got auto with it, so it's numbered to 50.
I got a card with the Woodstock dirt.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and there's I have one. I pulled it out of a pack, and I pulled out of the next pack, or I don't know, packs in close proximity. Anyway, pieces of the Berlin Wall. That's pretty cool.
Wow. That's his.
Oh man, I remember when that happened, and like
David Hasselhoff.
a couple days later, like there's people at the mall selling samples, selling chunks of the Berlin Wall. It's like, how the hell did this stuff from Berlin get over here to this stupid little mall? You know what I mean?
If they authenticate it before you bought it.
Nah, that was some cat who broke in his backyard.
The rocks.
Yeah, I like my Berlin. I like my Berlin rocks and SGC holders myself. There are people like I have like you'll have things like pennants or oversized different things, and people always comment, does PSA grade that? Like if PSA doesn't grade it, they don't even want it, right? No matter how cool it is.
Now back
they
to
want everything in a slab.
You're not gonna let this go. So what drives me crazy, like the Topps 2020 project is a novelty anyways. I didn't jump on, and now I have about 10 Clemente cards on because it's Clemente. I was like, I could get it. And then Ermsey got into the game and that went crazy. So the first ones are kind of expensive, but people are grading Topps 2020 project cards. I don't get it. Like they're breaking the seal and sending off these Topps 2020 cards.
There's a lot of people. The Topps 2020 project, dude, I was in it. I was watching it from like the beginning. I was in the Facebook group, for the Topps 2020 project the whole time, almost from beginning to end. And it's almost, to me, it's almost like you see what's going to happen to the whole this bubble right now in a short time. You know what I mean? Like the whole Topps project happened like in a year. And I always feel like, oh, the same thing's going to happen right now, but like in maybe 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the way it went up, went down, the height, you know what I mean? It was insane. It was fun, though. It was fun. I'll tell you that much.
It was crazy to see, but these guys are grading these top 2020 project cards and like pop of 1, pop of 2. I'm like, yeah, because you're the only genius.
Yeah, you're the only one to
get it in. It's so misleading. Someone reads that, some rookie who doesn't know.
Yeah, I could send.
Hobby. Oh, this is rare. No, it's not.
I could send a random. I'm sure I could find a random card in an 88 set, 89 set that hasn't been graded yet. You know what I mean? And send.
Yeah. I followed those from the beginning, and I'm like, these are like novelty cards. I ain't getting any of these. But after a while, and seeing everybody on YouTube showing them, I started to buy some of the ones I liked. And my Clemente showed up, Lou Rock, and it had a big scuff inside.
I saw that.
Yeah, so
you hooked it up in the black. Didn't you hook it up in like a black?
Yeah, and it looks better that way too.
Yes. I think Rudog did the same thing. I think Rudog put all his Clementes in the black one touches, and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I didn't want to take off the the sticker, but I did. I took it off and I put it in a nice black one touch.
And the sticker came out pretty good. It didn't get all.
Yeah, it's not quite perfect on the back, but the front's perfect. Like the front is
black one touch. Yeah,
Rudog did. Oh my God, that's sacrilegious! I can't turn Roberto Clemente upside down. But it looks better in here.
Oh, Rudog, what's up?
If you want to do that, this is a 130 point, is what they fit in.
130.
know.
Yeah, my man Rudog got all 20.
It had a big scuff on it, man. I would
have done the same thing, bro. I would have done.
All right.
You had my. It's okay.
These three boxes right here. These 3 boxes are all Topps 2020 project cards. These 3 boxes are full of it. That's where I hold them all.
Oh, okay.
Because they come in those big old black cases. You know what I mean? They take up a lot of space if you don't take them out of those cases.
Oh, you keep them in the envelope?
But mine are still. Yeah, they're all still in the black envelope, and then in the bubble wrap. They're all still in there. But as much as I say I'm not a fan of them, look how many I bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sean, you need to put that Lou Bob dual auto in a one touch.
So I don't understand. W Vogs 18. He's asking a bone if he should put his 68 mantle in a mag. What's a mag?
Um,
A mag is a like one touch, a cartridge.
yeah, one touch. Is it graded, Vogs?
Why do they call it a mag? I haven't heard that term. Why is it
Yeah,
called?
like any one of these, like the old,
Like a
the old
magnetic-
screw downs,
like
would kind of
magnetic.
be like a mag. Like,
Yeah, think of it
A
Magnetic.
magnetic.
that have a magnet. Yeah.
magnetic mag. So I mean,
I wouldn't. I'd just keep it raw, man. That way you can feel it. You know, put it in your bike spokes.
Hey, do you need one,
slab
Bob? I'll send you one because I just got
probably should put
boxes
it
of stuff,
should put it in a mag.
supplies that I don't use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you probably should. You should definitely put it in a mag.
Yeah.
Or a good holder.
Yeah, I go to my LCS and I'll buy, the best scratched up mags. Or now you got me saying mags, one touches, because he sells them for like $1 a piece, opposed to like $3. So I'll get like 10 of those gently used one touches at the LCS.
You know what? I get them. I have to throw them away when they get scratched. It drives me crazy. I want them to be crystal clear.
Now
And then I get those perfect fit sleeves to put over it so it never gets scratched.
See, that's what I need to do. I never buy the sleeves.
Hey, I was telling John yesterday how you're not shy about telling me, like when I showed my Kobe Bryant, you're like, dude, put it in a new
your
mag.
Kobe
That
was,
thing is all scratched up.
It was your Topps update, your Trout update. That's what I was yelling
Yeah,
at you.
he's throwing Mike Trout rookies around raw, like and a Patrick Mahomes too.
But as much as the 2011 update drove me crazy, what drives me crazy when he's going through his binders, which is phenomenal. I wish I'm not a completist. I just get what I want, collect what I want. But he's going through like his 50 mantles, and he's got, which one's the one that you have 2 mantles of? What's that? Is that 56?
58.
58?
58.
And he just got them raw. He's like just throwing them in there. He's like taking out the sleeve, putting it in the sleeve, taking it out. I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? What are you doing? Oh, well, but you know what? He loves it.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'm trying to get better.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like my whole Mickey Mantle collection. Like my whole Mickey Mantle collection is just like in this box. Man, I'm still trying to get a way to the way this works, but majority of them are raw. Most of my Mickey Mantles are raws, but because people are always yelling at me, I do have them in one touches and stuff.
Yeah, at least you got
or at least top loaders.
I love the
I consider this a Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, the rigid.
I still consider this a Mickey Mantle, even though it's really a Reggie Jackson card.
That's dope.
But this is one of my favorites right here, the 56 Mantle.
56 is
one
sick.
of my favorites since I was a kid, man.
I actually like the BCW the best. They're a little roomier.
It was a little foggy. I couldn't see that one.
Like I like this little coin, little Mickey Mantle coin. I just love. I do love these little holders. I just get a kick out of them.
Yeah, I don't think
I actually love the coin holders. I like those better than the card holders.
But now that PSA sold the company, they're gonna get away from that. They're just gonna focus on cards, aren't they?
Well, I don't think so. Didn't they buy the coin portion too?
Yeah, because I think that's a separate entity. I think they sent those coins to the coin division, like their money.
Yeah.
And
Electric Universe, I believe, and they own PSA. Did they just sell the card division?
I think
PSA.
so. From what I was reading, I thought they were just going to try to focus on the cards. So anything money, all the other stuff that they were grading is going to be separated. I could be wrong.
That's a shame because they were the only one to grade coin. Well, Beckett grades them, but the problem with Beckett is you'll have a little coin and they put it in a holder this big.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous store. Like it's so hard to store.
Hey, I was listening. Hey, on your last stream, I heard you talking about BGS. I like the BGS slab, and I get what you're saying about the inner sleeve taken away from the card, but I like it because another thing about PSA, nothing drives me more crazy than you have a beautiful card in a slab, and that bitch is sliding around.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
that.
It's like, and you see it dinging around like, well, you can never crack it because now it's no longer, it's not the same grave.
Yeah, I had a
But at least the BGS has that plastic sleeve where it's secure.
yeah, it's just cloudy, like so you can't really see hard clips. Not all the time. Sometimes you could see it, but I've had a few cards over the years, and
Those
it's
shiny cards get taken away.
you can't really get a good look at it, And I mean, I want to look at the card. I don't want to look just at the holder. I don't know. Sometimes it's okay. I have like a mantle up there, and it's real clear. But then I have like a Trout rookie, and I have a 71 Gale Sayers too, that really looks bad in them. I don't know.
Is it the BVG or is it the?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's the BVG that looks better. Maybe it is just the Beckett.
I think it is.
I mean, they're nice and thick. I'm with Pepino on that. Like you could throw these against a brick wall and they won't open.
They're thick like Beyonce.
They are tougher to crack.
Hey, so some guy, Mike Robro, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, but he was mentioning like because my 1956 Mickey Mantle that I have, it's in a screw down, and screw downs are known to destroy your card. So and he's telling me I should take it out of there, and if I was gonna sell it, or if I had, one of my biggest fears is that I take it out of there and it's already damaged. You know what I mean?
Is it the big?
So I'd rather just leave it in there forever. Is
it or no?
Huh?
Do you have it sleeved?
It's one of the old ones. It's one of the old ones.
It's
one of the old screw downs. So
is it
I'm almost
like this size?
Yeah, but you see what you did, John? You put the card in the sleeve and then put in the screw down.
Yeah, this happens to be a really, really thin, almost sticker. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know that if you only bought PSA cards, but I touched it. It's real thin, so it's not gonna like squish it. I only use these for stamps and stickers mostly. But I just love the look at these things. They're just.
I do too. I made a mistake as a kid. I put Clemente relic in there, all glossy. You have it in there raw, Caesar?
Like this is an OG screw down. This is the way I bought it. So I assume it's already damaged. So I'll just rather leave it like this and never take it out of here. You know what I mean?
Is it that's
I got put on camera because I want to see
flat? It's not a recessed one.
What?
It doesn't have a recess in it. It's just flat.
No,
because they make.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably been in here for 20, 30 years.
See, they make those ones with the recess, and you can actually even put.
I like this Derek Jeter with the Mickey Mantle in the back.
Mickey.
Oh yeah, I have that.
You might be all right with that Mickey Mantle though, because it's not like glossy. The glossy cards, if you don't sleeve them up and put them in the screw down, they get stuck to the screw down.
Oh, you cannot put a glossy
but
card
I've heard
in there.
stories. I've heard stories of people pulling cards out of them.
Yeah, you cannot.
Yeah, I've heard stories. So that's what I'm saying. Why would I risk taking it out and it be sticky?
Yeah, cardboard's different, And these, if you have these silks, these things look great.
That's great. Yeah.
I just got a
museum quality.
But they look really. The camera's not doing it justice.
Wants Reese's?
When this sits like on a black table, it looks really cool.
Hey, Ed, yeah, Screech died, 44 lung cancer.
Yeah, I heard.
What? Yeah. The porn star?
Yeah, Screech.
The porn?
Near Mint Music.
Yeah.
Thanks, my man.
Yeah, he died at 44 years old. Yeah, shame. He just got diagnosed too. So, yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Way to bring down the stream, Egg. Way to bring down the stream, brother.
There are so many legends like in sports and movies and everything that over the last few years we've lost. It's really depressing as you get older that all your childhood, all the people you knew, the big icons are just going. Yeah. So many are gone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, we lost two Dodger legends like in the same month almost with Lasorda and Don Sutton.
Oh man, a lot of legends. I mean, what within the last year? Yeah, Ford,
Aaron, Tom
and it
Seaver.
was multiple sports too. Yeah, but so many baseball Hall of Fame. I never ever remember a 1 year or 6 month
right.
period where we lost that many.
And you could tell because the hobby is everyone's going after those cards. So I got to focus on something else.
Hey,
Yeah, so
all you YouTube Hall of Famers out there, when one guy dies, expect a lot of them to die that year. It just happens that way.
Hey, Goody G, Keith Richards, he died like 30 years ago. Nobody's told him yet. That's all.
I was gonna say, what? He's not dead.
Yeah, of all the rockers,
So,
all the people in history that would live to be old, like who would have, if there were bets in Vegas, everybody would have lost their shirts on Keith Richards, right?
bro, that boy's a ghost.
I'm gonna go get another beer real quick, guys.
To the fullest.
Yeah, so in Sports Collectors Digest, they always put down the obituaries of anybody affiliated with sports. They do in like the teams, general managers and scouts and everything, and they're usually like most of the time they're people you don't know, right? And there's just a few ball players, mostly obscure players, but
these are legends.
Yeah, lately, I mean that thing's just loaded up. All these legends, legends.
Let me see, because I know we did Joe Morgan, Brock, Hank,
Ron.
What's he got?
He said Ozzy's died 8 times and is still kicking.
That guy's a beast.
I know, he's another one.
He can barely talk, but he's moving.
He seems to get like he seems to have a resurgence all of a sudden where he's moving around better and talking better. There for a while, I couldn't understand a word he said.
I never understood a word he said. Sharon, I understood Sharon. He yelled Sharon, but that's about it.
You know what's funny? When I first started YouTube, I made a couple of videos using Ozzy Smith songs in the background, Black Sabbath or whatever. They were on for like a year or two, and there was just like 1 month where little by little every day they just removed them all, for copyright infringement.
Hey, Mike, he's wanting to know what happened to SCD grading. I actually have some cards still in SCD. Back when in the early days of grading, I got some of those. I like them too.
I've had STDs before. I got rid of them.
Did you get the Q-tip? Did you get the Q-tip?
Yeah. Now I could pee. I could pee like a kid again.
That barrel smoking. If the barrel smoking, bro, it ain't good, man.
When you get to be my age, peeing ain't a problem. I mean, once you turn 40, you feel like you have to pee while peeing.
Well, thanks. I hit 40 in April. But I mean, between the Army and my job now, it's like, God, my back, my neck, my C3, my C4 is jacked up. I broke my leg twice on the job. It's
I hate to tell you, but it doesn't get any better. It really doesn't. You need to exercise and work out. I mean, that's the only way. You gotta stay in shape and try to eat a little bit healthy anyway.
Yeah, you gotta keep it moving. That's what my neighbor says. Just keep it moving.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, pulling fire has a different meaning.
Why you got? I was earlier. I forgot, why you got Miami on? What's up with the Marlins? Tribute to her.
That is one of my main PCs.
Yeah, Goody G. KSA is a Canadian grading company.
Yeah, Canadian.
I think they do a good job. I have several cards in those.
Bro, speaking of Stanton, you know how we were talking about the Ken Burns and Joey D striking out 13 times in 41? Bro, Stanton would strike out 13 times in 2 games in a double.
You know what? This jersey, my friend Snotzilla gave it to me. He sent it to me in a care package. And when I made this video, I didn't know it was coming. and that's the video where I jumped in my pool naked, and I got banned from YouTube for a month for it.
Yeah, I was telling him yesterday, Lou Rock. I'm like, when I stumbled on his channel, like early on when I was learning about new channels,
It's
I see this guy
crazy.
dancing around in his pajamas, hitting bells, dinging bells, has masks on, and just going, different outfits. I'm like, what? I just laughed so hard when I was watching him,
It's a
and
good
he's
thing.
showing
You
baseball
know,
cards.
yeah, it's a
You
good
know,
thing that I stuck through it because at first I was like, this cat doesn't know what is this? Is a publicity thing, you know? He just wants views. And then I think I stumbled upon one of your binder videos, and I'm like, okay, this guy's legit. He's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like he knows what he's talking about. Like, yeah, people don't realize you got mad knowledge, especially when it comes to vintage, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday when we were on. It gets lost in the entertainment sometimes.
I mean, you live
what?
baseball. Bro. You live baseball. You're at Dodger Stadium all the time. Like that's just to be around. I love to smell the grass. Just the sprinklers hitting the grass. I love all that stuff. I love. My wife goes crazy because when we get, especially opening day, I want to be there 4 hours before, and she's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, first off, I want to be trapped.
Yeah.
I want to see batting practice. I like hearing the crack of the bat. I like all that. And my wife just she's like, all right, opening day, but that's it.
Yeah, I got to play at Three River Stadium, and I never forget. If you never played on AstroTurf, man, is it a different experience. So that ball will hit, and it bounces up like a rubber ball, and you had to really adjust. And then, like if somebody hit a line drive, a one hopper, it would just scoot, and it was like catching a line drive,
Like a pebble on a lake.
But every bounce was perfect. Like it was a lot easier not to make errors. I mean, on the dirt I played on, there were rocks and pebbles. You didn't know where that ball was going. On that stuff, it was every hop was pure. You knew exactly where the ball was going to go once you got used to it. And then we would do drills where you had to go back and catch the ball on the warning track, right? And I didn't know watching it on TV, but that warning track, you come off of that thick AstroTurf and then onto this, like, it's like road, right? It's like a running track. And so you're bouncing, and when you hit the warning track, that's when I realized why they called it a warning track. Like there was no doubt, you had no doubt you hit that area and the wall was coming up. But it was so hard to get used to catching a ball when you're running off that AstroTurf onto that hard ground. And but it was a great
That
experience.
that AstroTurf shortened a lot of careers.
Oh yeah,
It was bad on the knees. It was bad on the knees,
especially in football. Because in the ground, like your leg will the dirt will give.
Veteran Stadium
on AstroTurf, just your knee gives.
You would know, John. Who was the wide receiver who tore both his knees? Wasn't it an Eagle receiver in Veteran Stadium? He hit. He was going in the slot and he just fell. And I think he tore both his ACLs. I cannot remember his name, but he did it in Veterans Stadium.
Was that Harold Carmichael? I don't know. I don't know of a player.
If he tore both his knees up in the same game and on the same play.
I don't know. He was real tall receiver.
Yeah, it was bad. That stadium was horrible. It was a hazard. Might as well play in the street.
Yeah. So when I was in Three River Stadium, I got hitting lessons from Willie Stargell, and he taught us how to pick up the pitch. What was coming from the motion of your hand.
Put a camera on center field.
Well, no, that was
bang a trash can.
That was
bang a trash can.
That was Houston's ballpark. So it's impossible to be serious with you guys. I'm gonna have to have Sean Tiford on here if I want to have a serious.
I'm texting him now. He's talking about and sometimes the players shorten the life of AstroTurf, like Lenny Dykstra. I'm like, you mean Nails? Nails was the bomb.
Lenny Dykstra was a hard player. I thought I was a fan of his when he was playing.
You know who was a hard player? Eric Davis. I liked Eric Davis.
I liked Eric Davis too.
He didn't get enough.
Lenny Dykstra was a Pete Rose kind of hard player. I mean, he went into every base hard. He was he all out. I kind of liked him, but he went. What did he do? He got arrested or whatever after his career. He got
Lenny. Oh man, that guy. If you want to know what's going on with Lenny Dykstra, listen to Howard Stern.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Howard has him on every week. It seems like, and Lenny Dykstra's off the deep end. He talks about his Asian girlfriend. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. How he had to go look for his dentures in the dumpster. Hey,
John,
yeah. He's a mess, man. He's just
one of my old bosses, John. One of my old bosses a few years ago, when we were telling them, hey, we're going to have to resod the middle of the football field. We're going to need like 50,000 square feet of sod. And he was like, well, what do you mean? And I said, yeah, we have to replace the grass. He's when I used to play in the NFL, they never had to replace the grass where I played. And I was like, yeah, because we played on artificial turf. I'm talking about Lynn Swan.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Card Ranger.
He played an artificial turf.
Wendell Davis is the one that killed both his knees at the vet.
Oh, well, I never even heard of Wendell Davis. Leave it to a Philly guy. Leave it to a Philly fan.
Joe's talking about Moises Alou, but as good as Moises Alou was, I know he was there for the Cubby gang. But him pissing on his hands, I think, is what he's famous for.
Have you guys ever?
You never heard that?
No.
Like before a game, he was old school. He didn't believe in batting gloves, but he used to piss on his hands to roughen up his palms to get a good grip.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought you knew that one. Yeah.
No, I heard that.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe not COVID days, but.
Oh yeah, now that's
there's nothing wrong with that if you have a jellyfish sting.
Here in Tampa, we do it all the time. People just piss on each other.
It cures your athlete's foot. Your urine cures your athlete's foot.
I mean, I've heard of somebody else peeing on you, but never peeing on yourself intentionally.
Well, that'd be
but you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for that, John.
Can you imagine?
That's not in Miami.
I need a better grip on the back. Can you piss on my hands? You can't ask a buddy for that.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta be some close friends for that one.
Maybe at the national.
Hey, don't go to the bathroom when a loser standing in front of the door. He's gonna ask you for a favor.
Yeah, I mean the only person you could ask for that favor is somebody who saved your life in Nam.
Yeah, that's about it. Cousin will be on
his life rather.
What's Egg talking about? You read what Egg is writing? His cousin would do it for $300. She hot though. She hot.
Hey, I have to tell you, this whole thing has just gone off the rails right now.
All right, let's bring it back.
I saw Steve Sachs' penis. Oh, never mind.
Hey, are there any Danica Patrick fans? I got a piece of her Sports Illustrated, the spread she did there. There's a piece of her bikini.
Yeah, she's hot.
They make relic cards for everything these days.
They do. Yeah, man. But yeah, I just bought some cards from B. Roth, and
oh man, he'll rip you off. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Well, he's friends with Sean Tiefer. That's why I trusted him. But yeah, I'm trying to, for me this year, if I could get a 53 Jackie and a 53 Page for the year, that's a good year for me. I really want those two cards. But I'm trying to get
the 53 Page. That's a big card.
Yeah, I want that.
That just became a big card. You could pick that up for like $200 like 2 years ago.
But that's why I'm kicking myself.
There's
so many times where I could get that card. And now it's just going through the moon, which is why I'm also focusing like for a modern card. And I consider it modern because it's 2001, but the Pujols Topps traded card. And like 6 months ago, I could have gotten it for like $50, $60, and now it's trending to $150. So if I can find it at a show for like $125, I'm going to jump on it.
Well, that 53 Satchel Paige I've always felt was undervalued. So it's finally getting where it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think those are my big boy cards. My non-Clemente, 53 Jackie, 53 Page are my two big boy ones that I want for this year. So I'll ask Santa Claus. But yeah, for modern, I'm looking at the top traded pool holes because I got the Ichiro. I pulled everything Ichiro when, in '01. I got the Upper Deck Ichiro, the Top Stadium Club, the Tops. What else? And the Bowman. So now I need the brother. I need pool holes, top traded. I didn't pull any pool holes. So
yeah, I was fortunate enough to collect at that time too, and I had just started collecting again when he and Pujols came up, and of course I was a big fan of both of them. A bigger fan of Ichiro, but I thought Pujols was just a great player. So yeah, I have a lot of their cards.
I was focusing more on Ichiro because I figured with the Japan market, his card would be impossible to get.
I was just a fan of his hitting. I really thought he would be the next guy to hit 400. I really am shocked that he didn't hit for 400 because
what was his highest year?
All fields, he went with the pitch. He did all the things high average hitters do. And hard to strike out, good contact hitter. I really thought if anybody was going to do it, it would have been him.
I mean, golly, the way he was running out the box as he was hitting, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He like softball. Like,
hey, speaking, going back to good, strong arms, he had a good arm.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And accurate. I remember seeing him in warm-ups, and he was a showboat. That's why I liked him. He was just, even though he didn't speak the language off the bat, he just had an aura around him. He was, the Japanese Mickey Mantle. He walked around like a movie star. And I remember he was at home plate.
Did you guys ever know? Did you guys ever know that I used to have I had a bag, and I had a basketball, a softball, a soccer ball, a golf ball, one of those batting cages balls, all autographed by Ichiro. He autographed all of them. Yeah, I used to work at a sports complex called Big League Dream, and when he first came over here from Japan, he was filming a commercial there. He was filming a commercial on my work, and so like one of my guys that worked with me, he got an autograph from him, and I'm not big time into autographs, but I was like, oh, that's cool. Hey, I'll get one. And I was like, well, I don't have anything for him to sign. And in my car, I had a football, basketball. I brought all these different balls to him. And when I went over, I was like, hey, can you sign these? He started laughing, and he signed them all. He signed everything for me. He signed like 12 or 13 items for me.
I'm surprised you didn't.
But I lost them all.
You lost them all.
I lost them all.
What do you mean you lost them all?
On Father's Day. I remember it was a Father's Day. No, it was a Father's Day. And I was working at Dodger Stadium. I had to work. But my wife had like a Father's Day party for me at home, after work, because it was a day game. So when I got home, all my nieces and nephews and cousins and stuff were there. And they used all those balls to play baseball all day. And most of the balls went to my neighbor's house, and the dog tore them all up.
How much were you
So they
drinking,
were just like
bro?
gone. I mean, it was a volleyball. I mean, everything. But he signed them all for me.
That's a one-of-one item.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be worth a fortune. An Ichiro signed volleyball.
That's a one-of-one.
I can't believe you didn't get him to sign a sword alongside with Randy Jackson.
Yeah, right?
Step Brothers. Anybody get that?
You can't just see Ichiro and not ask him for his autograph,
Right. Right.
But I seen that dude in practice from home plate asking which foul pole do you want me to hit? And they'll point to right or left, and he'll fling it from home plate and hit the damn foul pole every time.
He could hit during BP.
Oh, yeah.
During BP, he was able to hit a home run at will, man.
Yeah,
well, you know what? So when I was with Lou Pinella, he was telling a story of when I guess his management came in and said, we're sending you this guy from Japan. And I don't think he was real high on it at first. And so he came with a translator. And Lou said that he was, slapping his ball and, and getting singles. And so he said to the translator, does he have any power? He was concerned. And so he said the translator talked to Ichiro. Ichiro went up there, hit a home run, went around, and came back and in English said, you happy now?
Hey, Sean, I see your question.
That's kind of what yeah.
Hey, no, I see.
Tommy Lasorda kind of did that.
Hold up. Sean is asking me a question about this 47 bomb bread Jackie. which is underpriced. I actually saw that it's on eBay right now, and it's ungraded. I was going to send a text to Blue Jacket Dave because he's the master, or at least the only subject matter expert I know when it comes to like hard, rare food item cards. And I don't know too much about this 47 bomb bread Jackie.
So the ones with the rounded corners are the ones that were in the bread. They had to have rounded corners to be in the bread. The square ones, they were sold in boxes, and they had like an opening. You can see it. So they were distributed two different ways. However, and Sean, you can chime in here. I think that they did a whole set just of Jackie Robinson. I think he has like 5 different ones. And the Bond bread one with the rounded corners, I would think would probably be the best one to get, in my opinion.
That's the one I was looking at today.
Because if you get one of the ones where they issued 5 of them, don't you want them all? You don't want just one.
I'm not a completist. In my pocket, I got 3 kids, John. Golly.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. They'll get the one that they only made one of. Yeah, they come in a box, and you could buy the box. That's where I believe that's where the square ones. I had this conversation with David Blue Jacket 66, and he actually sent me a picture of that box, so I kept it for future reference. I have that picture somewhere.
Yeah, that guy, his knowledge for that stuff is unbelievable.
Yeah, I have. So I have Stan Musial's rookies in there, and so is Ralph Kiner's.
Oh, really?
I have both of those, and I have a Ted Williams from that set.
Yeah, I need a Ted. I don't spend too much time on Red Sox, but you gotta have the splinter in there. And the more time I see
you have got to have a Ted Williams in your collection.
And like just today, like the stuff we were talking about earlier with the Ken Burns, watching that and how he was using bottle caps to put the grooves in the handle. I love that stuff. I need to get a. What's that? 50
this one's beautiful.
Was that 48 or my?
Mine's is better. I don't care, John, if yours is older.
48, 49 Leaf.
Yeah, okay. I'm not.
It's a beautiful card.
I still got my eye. I know them. I just don't buy them. It's Red Sox.
And he's half Mexican.
What?
He's half
Babe
Mexican.
Ruth in this set's nice too.
That's beautiful. I always wanted that card. But first,
explain. It's after his playing days, but it just looks like a vintage. There's something about this one I like.
Says how's Ted Williams half Mexican? Who's Mexican?
I believe it was his mom. His mom was Mexican. Yeah, he's half Mexican. One of his parents is full Mexican.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he didn't want to say that while he was playing because he didn't want to face any racism or any controversy. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see these premiums from that set?
Oh, you were showing those the other day, man. Those are sweet. Like the stuff Sean
There's another version that doesn't have wording, and I think it's orangish background.
Do you have the chrome ones in those?
No, I do have the refractor. I have the refractor, and they made a version. They made a version with a relic insert too.
Oh, you don't have the red wave?
I don't have that one.
Solar powered nebula?
What they did is they made, believe it or not, they made
coming in fast and heavy. Yo, Sean, we could talk. We don't need baseball cards to talk, but yeah, I'll talk about that, Williams.
Yeah, they made so they make versions, and one's blue and they number it to 10, and one's red and they number that one to 5. And then they have one that's black, and they number that one to 1. And it's the exact same card, but they changed the border.
Genius.
Yeah, isn't it genius? So there's actually 3,000 of them out there.
Yeah.
All numbered to 1 or 10 or 25.
It's like they're all different, but the same.
Right. That's exactly right. But you know what? I mean, one's $1, and the lowest numbered's $1 million. So
hey, you had me tripping earlier because I was catching up on that live stream you guys had the other day. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was just yesterday.
When you were learning about the parallels. When you got the hobby.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a way. It's manufactured rarity. I mean, that's why vintage is always going to be king. And don't get me wrong, it's nice getting a numbered card.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
the
man,
first time I remember I sold a LeBron because I had 2 cards. On the front, you could not tell them apart. I couldn't tell them apart to save my life. But one was numbered to
Good night,
25. One was numbered to 25, and the other one wasn't numbered. And it looked identical. So I sold the one numbered to 25 for a whole money, and I kept the other one.
You know Tanner Tan Man baseball fan Tanner Jones. He's right. He's written a book on baseball card collecting. He has the greatest one of the greatest Jose Canseco collections. But he managed to go to Jose Canseco's house. Okay. And he took his Jose Canseco collection, and Jose Canseco signed all kinds of stuff for him. And then he was showing Jose Canseco like some cards and telling him, yeah, look at this card is worth so much, and then this card is only worth so much. And Jose Canseco's like laughing at him. You know what I mean? He's so you're telling me Topps made this card for like 2 cents and you want to pay $2,000 for it? He's like, that doesn't make any sense to me, you know?
Right. Hey, somebody's asking to see some of our best cards. You guys have any cards laying around you want to show?
Do I have cards laying around?
No.
Come on.
I'll grab a couple.
All right, this
Slabs.
This is my best one right here. Lou Rock, Bob, dual auto. No, I'm just kidding. Give me a second.
Oh, there it is. Well, if you're gonna go that route, this is my best card right here. You can't beat that one.
What you got? Oh shit, that's a 101 right there, homie.
Oh man, I don't have that one. What's that numbered to? Is that the refractor?
It's the gold.
Does it come in a
I have this bonds at least. At least I have kind of a bond rookie.
That I love that 87 set. It's one of my favorite sets. I love that set.
I do have a LeBron 2002 high school card, but it's in a bad slab.
I used to get that magazine, and I have those cards too. I don't have that particular one, but I have them. Yeah, Mike, a Pepino Rainbow, baby.
All right, where we at?
The Tiger Woods rookie.
You know, I think I'd get along with Mike. He has he has a similar sense of humor to me.
Hey, quick question. I could get Kobe raw. It's a raw Kobe Topps for $200. You think that's pretty good? It's
the night Topps.
Yeah, it's just the base Topps Kobe rookie for $200.
That seems undervalued to me.
Yeah, doesn't it? So I was thinking. I've been focusing on baseball, but to me, it seems like a good value. He had 2 of them. He said he'll give me one for $200. It's a buddy of mine, so I was going to jump on it, but you know, it's basketball. The basketball I like is this. Here, I'm back to this one. This is my best card because it's like it's flying.
That's a sweet card, though, man.
Yeah, it's a PSA 7 in the old flip.
That's a sweet card.
And guess what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna send it in to get a new flip because it's the same shit.
Right.
But yeah, that's my Bird Magic.
Yeah, it's a great card. Oh, nice 54. I just got that card. I needed it for my set.
That's beautiful.
And then Doc Ellis.
Oh yeah,
we had a good talk about him yesterday.
I always like the quirky cards. Here's Ted Williams, Wilson
Frank right there. This is an insert. Speaking of inserts, this is a Natural Born Thriller Jordan, and one just recently sold for about $900.
Any Reds fans?
Oh wow, nice!
I pulled this in high school.
This is a Topps Test 3D 68. I want the Clemente though.
Man, that's a sweet card too.
Bro,
3D card.
That's like everyone's like, oh, I want a 52 Mantle, a 51 Bowman. I want the 68 Topps Test 3D Clemente.
Here's the rarest Willie Mays.
What you got?
Briggs Meat.
That's so sick. What year is that?
These are from 53, 54. They were issued.
This was a cool Jordan too that I picked up. Man, you can't see the shine from this angle.
No, shiny.
That's a good looking Jordan card. There aren't too many Jordan cards that aren't good looking cards.
This is one of my favorite cards because I'm a big Elston Howard fan. I think he's so undervalued.
Oh, I have that. Yeah, I love that.
One
I
the
love
top
that.
stance.
What makes it?
I can't believe I got this in a PSA 6.
Yeah.
I mean, Clemente and Howard right there.
Mine's in a PSA 2. I don't remember the grade. I don't care that much. I think it's a 7, but I'm not sure. But what makes that special is it's with Elston Howard.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes when you have a star on there, you never heard of the player with them.
Exactly. But first black.
That's why I always like to comment. You know, I mean, everybody does, right?
Yeah.
They call the Nolan Ryan the Cushman card, or
yeah. Well, Kuzman was a good player. I mean, that's he was a good pitcher.
I'll show this one again.
Yeah, he had a decent career. He's just not known as Nolan Ryan.
Right.
I love it.
I'll tell you what, that Clemente is gorgeous.
I love it.
That looks nicer than the grade.
Thank you. Well, luckily I buy cards for the card, not the grade. But I love this card.
That looks better than a 6.
Thank you.
My
SGC is tough though.
Mine looks like a hobo card.
You know.
Mine looks like a hobo card.
But you got one, homie. You got one.
Yeah, and my cards are kid safe because the corners are rounded, so it's safe for kids' eyes, so they don't poke their eyes out.
Oh yeah, the 63 Sphere, baby. Here's one of my favorite Babe Ruth cards.
That's dope. I gotta look on my computer.
Nice.
I'm looking on my phone, but I'm trying to look on my screen because it's bigger on my screen. What else I got? I got this one.
Hey, Mangini, did you know that this is Johnny Bench's rookie card?
I was just gonna tell you.
I saw it on the stream. Are you sure?
When that happened, John Mangini, when that happened, it was actually Stove Sports that said that, hey, that's a Johnny Bench rookie card. So because it was him and we mess around, that's why I threw that attitude with him. You know, if it was anybody else, I would have just been, you know. But because it was Stove Sports, I got to relish into that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you my favorite card in my collection, and it's not my most expensive card, but it's probably my most sentimental.
Oh, I love that card too.
Now I have one that's even better centered. I have one in better condition, but this is the one my mother gave me. This is the one that started the craziness, the fever, the sickness.
There you go.
I was in 6th grade, and I opened up. We did Christmas in New York with my grandmother, and when my mom opened this, I just remember she told me, "You better like." I never spent so much money on a baseball card. It was $35, I think she told me. And to this day, she's like $35.
Yeah. Well, those cards will always, like, I have cards like that, and I won't replace them. I won't upgrade them. They have special meaning, you know.
Yeah, and
I love that card so much. I have 3 of them.
I love it, man. And the 73, that whole set, there's no real good images in that. I'm trying to think.
I disagree with that.
The Reggie Jackson is awful. The Reggie Jackson that year is awful.
I love that Reggie Jackson. It's the only one where he's throwing.
It is awful, though.
It
looks but his face is all.
Like, listen, 73.
It looked like he's pitching.
73 was the first year they used action shots, and I like the action shots.
Like, my man was like in the audience. Like, you couldn't get a better. Clemente is such a polarizing figure, and this is the best shot they got. A check swing.
Okay, you're right.
Dude, yeah.
Okay, everybody get your glove on.
Look, I just bought this Reggie Jackson dish.
Oh, I got a Clemente dish somewhere.
I got a rare Stallmeyer Campanella.
Oh, Campanella, man, I love him.
Oh, let me show you this.
I got my Clemente rookie. Sean knows all about that one.
That's sweet. That is sweet, man.
Babe Ruth premium.
Oh, nice Babe Ruth there.
Oh, check this out.
I love it.
Satchel Paige autograph.
Man, I was looking at those today. Nope, not gonna happen.
How about this This is for Dave. Always he on that spoof video. You know, he makes fun of me for saying everything's rare,
Yeah,
but
that's one of my
I
favorites.
like to collect rare stuff. So this is
What's up, sir, Davis?
a rare Lou Gehrig, and people think this is obviously this is bigger than the Cashin, and this is more rare than the Cashin. This is very rare actually. If
Oh,
anybody,
Aaron's back on the screw downs. Is he behind? He's catching up on the chat.
Yeah, that the screw down chat was like an hour ago. He's one of those Orlando Cepeda, those little stories, those little comic books.
Bulldog, I love
These
it.
are pretty cool.
let's look at some older cards. How about King Kelly?
Older than Babe Ruth? God dang, John.
Cap Anson?
Love this guy, Cap Anson, man. That'd be a dream card. You got any tree speaker?
Oh yeah, I got two speakers.
Only this guy. I need another drink. This guy's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get another beer. I'll be back.
Look it up.
Here's a rare Cuban Tris speaker.
Oh, Cuban.
Yeah.
I think I read about that. What's that? Is it backwards?
Is it showing backwards? It's I believe from 1914.
Man, 1914. That's almost 100 years old.
Album Universal. There we go. That's gorgeous. God, 1914. Where did you pick that up? You went to like
I picked that up a number of years ago, and it's a like an obscure card, and man, I couldn't pass that up, and it wasn't expensive either. Here's probably one of the first baseball cards ever issued from 1878.
And got in a 4. You see, I'm telling you, back to the SGC, man.
Here's your biscuit.
That's gorgeous.
It's just a generic baseball, but man, from 1878.
Man, that's a long time ago.
Hey,
yeah, that's like 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's gonna be more for John. Peds Cards is asking any old judges. I got Aaron judges, but I ain't got the judges you're looking for, bro. I'm gonna go get me some whiskey. I'll be back. I was waiting for Caesar to come back.
Oh, you want old judges?
But do you have those rare golden? Oh, I don't think I can get it.
You want to see the first gum card? These were probably the first gum cards. That's Comiskey.
Nice. I remember my first gum job from
won the Triple Crown in 1887.
You have an 87 Ginter, Harbaugh?
This is graded a 7. This is a really high grade one. And Ned Williamson held the single season home run record until Babe Ruth broke it in 1919. Mostly
shattered it.
He was a home run champ in the other league in 1887 from Tip O'Neill. And Hugh Duffy was a great early player. And Bobby Lowe, I think, still holds the all-time. I don't know. He had some record. I think fielding percentage at second base, I believe, and I think he also pitched.
Why do so many of those older cards only get an authentic and not an actual grade?
You know, I actually don't know that. I don't know. There's different reasons, and they never tell you why. And Jack Glasscock, this guy, he had stats that were like Ozzie Smith at shortstop. He was insanely good early shortstop.
I thought the authentics was up to the person who submits the card. Like, if you know it's going to be a low graded card, you'd rather have it authenticated.
I used to think that, but honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I don't usually buy authentics, but this one was just too nice to pass up.
Yeah, I know with like the post, like the serial cards, I would rather have it as authentic.
Yeah,
and cut
cards. Yeah. And you guys know Art Ross, the Art Ross Trophy.
Yes,
Who's Art Ross?
that's so dope.
The guy from Friends.
I'll tell you what, the guy who
Now,
paints.
what happened here is
Put a clip here.
Art Ross was a defenseman, but he was a general manager and I guess a coach in the late 40s, and he implemented his own trophy to the leading scorer or whatever. So that's
Yo,
how it became known as the Art Ross Trophy for scoring when he was a defenseman, if you ever wondered.
Mike Wise asking if we're still here. Hell yeah, we're still here. Going strong.
Oh
baby.
shit! It's been 2 hours, huh?
Yeah,
What time is it where you guys are at?
11:30.
Oh man, you guys are late birds.
man, I can't. I mean, I can look at cards all night. What else
Right.
you want to look at?
Or posters.
You want to look at some 80s cards, some 90s, some football, some hockey,
Look at this.
some soccer?
John, you got this in a clip, and I was looking for a quick frame for this.
No, you know what? I have that set right here, actually. Where do I have that? I keep that in an album like this. I have the set.
Oh, that's a good idea to keep in an album.
Yeah, I actually have two of the Clementes in here.
But hey, the video you did when you talked about your pro tip with the frame, that 68, I knew I always keep my eye on it. I'm always watching it, but I didn't know I wanted it till I saw it in your video in that frame. I'm like, I'm getting that damn poster.
Yeah, well, those posters aren't easy to enjoy unless you can find a nice, frame to put them in, because they're you don't want to keep them folded, because the longer they stay folded, the more they're going to have a hole in them, right? As they get older and brittle. So you want to flatten them. That's
with the color too.
Preservation.
Yeah, it messes with the color too.
Yeah, but those frames are perfect. I mean, anything like that, any kind of picture, they snap in, they hold it perfectly. They're great for the 34 Butterfingers. They're great for that.
That's it's pretty much a preserver.
What we doing? You say we're showing 80s cards? I think I got 80s cards.
Are we showing 80s?
I got to put some cards away. I'm running out of room here.
I got some. I'm working on a Gold Cup Hall of Famer set with my junk wax. I got. Oh, so here's a question.
I love junk wax.
Yeah,
but I don't call it junk. But you don't call baseball cards junk.
That's true. So David Ortiz is up for the Hall. Is it next year or the year after that? When is David Ortiz eligible?
It's 10 years, right? After they're retired?
No, 5.
Is it 5 only?
Yeah. Unless you're Clemente. Yeah, I think if a player dies, 6 months after the fact, 6 months after their death, they're eligible. I learned that reading.
Who were the only 2 players that didn't have to wait 5 years to get into the Hall of Fame?
Clemente was one.
Yep.
And the second one is...
I'll give you a hint. He was alive.
Puckett. Oh, no. Puckett died.
No.
I
know this one.
Are you Googling it?
Me? Oh, Cesar is. He's cheating.
I'm looking at cards. I'm looking at cards right now. I'm looking at this batch of cards that I had bought to do a collage.
There we go.
It was Lou Gehrig.
Lou.
Oh, Gehrig's disease. Damn.
You guys see this? How's that coming out? Little 89. I got my Griffies there. It's like my junk wax up here. But that's 80s.
Let me see where my Donruss.
Who broke Lou Gehrig's all-time Grand Slam record? All-time Grand Slam record.
What, in the playoffs or all-time? Oh, isn't it Bernie Williams? Doesn't Bernie have a couple of Grand Slams?
No, Lou Gehrig held the all-time Grand Slam record for years. He had 23, I believe, and somebody broke it. Anybody know? There you go, Mike A-Rod. All right, now here's a tough one. Who holds the record for most triples in a single season?
I know this one. Triples.
Acuna.
All right, I'm back. Here we go. That's a little better. I'm backwards.
So like if I look through my like my box of doubles I have from when I was a kid from 89 Donruss,
Willie Wilson, Willie McGee.
I have like a bunch
nobody
of
guessed that one.
I have like a bunch of Gary Sheffield and a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of Ken Griffey Juniors. These are all just like my doubles for when I used to build my sets as a kid, you know?
Yep.
So yeah, I just have a bunch of, they're all just raw here sitting like they have been for 30 years.
Mike, you're right about that. Probably someone from a long, long time ago because the ballparks were bigger back then. This is a record that will probably never be broken.
What was the question? I didn't hear it.
Most triples in a single season. 36 is the record.
And it's an older gentleman, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. Right?
It can't be Ricky, I guess.
Nope.
It's not like Ty Cobb or somebody or Wagner, Hornsby or
who's the comedian that with Vince Vaughn that was in Wedding Crashers?
Olsen, what's his name? Owen Wilson, right?
There you go. You just guessed it.
No.
I knew that. I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the player.
Yeah, Chief Wilson. He played for the Pirates. He was named. He got his nickname Chief because his manager Fred Clark said he looked like a chief of Texas Texas Rangers. I guess he was a big guy. Who scored the first run in modern World Series?
I ain't gonna know that. I ain't gonna know. I ain't gonna guess. And I'm feeling good right now.
Who's the only pitcher to pitch 5 complete games in a World Series?
Who was the? I want to know the first one. Who got the first modern run? Did I miss that one?
Did anybody get it? It's Tommy Leach. He led in 1909. He led the league in home runs. He got a double in the first World Series in 1903 and scored the first run.
Sorry, step away, Merkel.
So who's the only pitcher to 5 complete games in a World Series?
You know, it's like kind of like Don Mattingly's Grand Slam, record, where he hit every Grand Slam in his career in 1 year. Never hit one before or after.
Yeah. Who holds the record for most consecutive games with a home run?
Ooh.
Oh, doesn't Griffey have 7? Or was it 6? A consecutive games with a home run? Griffey had 7, didn't he?
Did he?
Yes. I'm going with Griffey.
He's fishing for the answer.
Well, you're kind of right. Griffey tied it. There's 3 guys. 3 guys tied it. Dale Long did it first with 8, and then I think it's 8. Might be 7. I think it's 8.
That's the guy who held the Grand Slam record too, right?
No,
that's not the guy Don Mattingly beat out.
No, Dale Long played for my Pirates, and he did it. It held for years until Don Mattingly tied it, and then Ken Griffey Jr. tied it after that.
Yeah, I actually remember that. I think it was in the back of one of those scores. Remember when we used to buy pack? I think it was Score. In the back, they had those little trivia things. That was one of the questions. And so I remember Dale Long's name.
Hey,
Don
Mike,
Mattingly associated.
Yeah, Mike, it wasn't Roy Face, although Roy Face he's second all time in most consecutive wins, most consecutive games with a win.
Now, talking about the kid, Griffey, great center fielder, but some of the best center field play was in the 90s. I don't think Jim Edmonds gets enough love.
Oh, I loved him.
Oh, my God.
Great center fielder.
That was a great catch, though.
And they had the hill in center field. And he was going up that damn hill.
He was a great defensive center fielder.
Oh, my God.
And he could hit too, but he was defensively great.
Defensively. and him and Andrew Jones. Those two guys.
I agree with
Hey, okay. Let me tell you this.
He just
All
fell
right?
off quick.
I get into an argument with people all the time about this. It's like, you don't understand, okay? If you were to ask me who was the worst outfielder, center fielder you've ever seen in your life, Andrew Jones. When he was with the Dodgers at the end of his career, he did not care. He just wanted to get paid. He didn't even want to play. He did not hustle. He did not care.
He was like
He
250, wasn't he?
errors left and right. I was like, this guy sucks.
He was like
I don't remember watching him then.
Nah.
I must not have seen him. You know, I thought Brett Butler was a pretty good center fielder defensively too. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, he was good. Base stealer.
Jim Edmonds. Jim Edmonds was unbelievable. He don't get enough.
Sean Tiefert has he wants what was the first team to offer Hank Greenberg a contract? Now, Sean, there's no way I'm getting into a Hank Greenberg trivia competition with you. That'd be like you getting into a Roberto Clemente competition with me.
The game is fixed.
Right. It's over. I already lost. I didn't even start yet.
Yeah, someone just brought up
the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I know he finished with Pittsburgh because they brought him in at the end of his career. Ralph Kiner.
What is it?
And he did a good job.
I should know the answer.
Yeah, you're right. Butler was awesome at bunting.
Somebody put a. Remember when Jose Canseco, they hit that home run off his head?
Yes. Yeah, that was the downfall of his career. It was after that.
When he was dating Madonna. That was like at his height and then his drop.
Yeah.
No, the drop was when he was pitching. Who was the manager? I forgot the name of the manager. I mean, he tore up his elbow and he was never the same after that.
Was that for the Blue Jays or something that he pitched?
I thought it was the Rangers when he was pitching.
Oh, yeah, it was the Rangers. You know, I
ran into him in Sunrise, Florida when I was living down there.
He's a
man, he's big. He's a big dude.
He's still big. Yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
But the most honest guy in baseball. I love that guy.
It's funny because he was staring at me like we caught eye contact, and he was looking at me like he recognized me. I'm like, this is really weird. Like, Jose Canseco's like staring at me right now.
Like he thought you owed him money.
Real.
Like he owed him money. Was that the type of
he
look?
was walking with this little blonde, and it was this place in Sunrise. It's like an outdoor big mall.
Well, and John,
it was right when you were coming in, and it was just basically me and those two. And I don't know, it's just the way he was looking at me, like he recognized me. It was a weird thing.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Sean Tiefert.
I don't know if you were taking note at the beginning of our stream, but there was a lot of people saying, "Who's that in the middle? Is that Pitbull? Is that there was who was the
other?
I
get that a lot.
People were saying throwing a lot of names at you.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know, I was in Miami before Pitbull was popular. He stole that shit from me.
I know you say I know you're a paisan, but the new name for our future podcast is gonna be a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, and a Cuban walked into a card shop.
That's all right. I get everything, man. When I was in Egypt, they spoke Arabic to me. When I was in Greece, they spoke Greek. When I'm in Italy, they speak Italian to me. I can blend in pretty much anywhere except for the Nordic countries, right? But in Florida, they all spoke Spanish to me. They just, they thought I was Latino.
I get that all the time, John. I get that all the time. Everybody thinks I'm Latino.
Me too.
I could see that. It might be the way you talk. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, this has been great, man. I can't believe we've been on already 2 hours and 15 minutes already more.
It's almost midnight. I think we got to go to bed.
We're cut from the same cloth. That's why.
Yeah. This is great. I mean, we don't even stop talking. That's the great part about it, you know?
Well, you're in California. It's early for you.
Yeah, but I start work at 5. I wake up at 3.
Oh, then it's
I'm busy this weekend, man, because Tampa's busy with the Super Bowl. So,
hey, you know what?
You have the cutest daughter on the planet, I think. I
actually got 2 cute daughters, but the other one, she could care less about my hobby.
Well, the one I saw, I mean, what's her name?
Cecily, but she likes to be called Bob.
Bob?
Yeah, well, I said Lou Bob. I remember we were ripping packs. I said Lou Bob, and she thought that was the funniest name. She's like, I'm Bob.
She's
Oh,
so adorable. I brought my wife and my daughter. I'm like, you got to see this little girl. You're gonna fall in love with her.
Yeah, she's
That,
my.
that video was great. Thank you for doing that. That was awesome.
Well, I just want to put a little Easter egg for you because I love your nunchucks. And I showed, I was the last one. I was like, baby, you think you can do a little karate? Because when she grows up, she wants to be a spy. She knows I was in the army. When she grows up, she wants to be a spy. And when she tells you, she'll spell it out because that's code. She can't tell people she's a spy. So she tells people she's like, I want to be an SPY. And so she's like, Daddy, can you show me how to box? Can you show me karate? Da 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 da. So that's a little bit of what I showed you. She loves the uppercut. She loves closing the distance, and you saw the uppercut. So yeah.
Yeah.
you
Well,
just kind of totally off, but you saying that she loves the uppercut, I just got reminded of my friend's kid when he was small. He would always come up to him and say peanuts and punches in the nuts. All the time. All the time. This kid was like 4 or 5 years old. He would just walk up to peanuts, boom, and punch you in the nuts.
oh man.
Oh man.
So you talked about the nunchucks. Life's too short. I try to have some fun. I do different things here and there, just to make fun of myself. That's the best thing to do in life.
You're a
I
man
did a stupid rap
I take
to
life seriously.
Easy E. About going to Target. Have some
But
fun
bro,
once in a
okay,
while.
I'm saying you're serious with those damn nunchucks. I know for you to be, you're pretty proficient now, but the bumps and bruises to get to where you are now, because I see some of the stuff you're like flipping it around your shoulder and through your legs. I'm like, you might be smooth now, but maybe a couple years ago, I don't know if you were in a cup or a helmet.
Yeah, so I learned to do those years and years ago, but I didn't know that much, right? Like I just knew the basics. So I started I wanted to learn a lot more moves and get better at them. And this happened over COVID, man. That was my COVID project. I
Really?
was locked at home, and I'm in South Carolina. The weather is nice. So
Yep.
when COVID first hit, it was nice outside, and I'd get up in the morning, and I couldn't leave my house, and I'd go in the backyard, and I got my old nunchucks out, and I made a funny video for Facebook and for my friends, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start, like, this is good exercise, and I started doing it, and one day I hit my shin. I did that, like just a simple move that I had done 100 times. I hit my shin, and I had a ball on my shin that was about this big,
Mm.
and it
And
lasted a
Jen is
month.
so sensitive too. Ugh.
You know what? It immediately got to that size. Like, there's no like you waking up the next day with a lump. Like, it was immediate. By the time I went down to touch it, it was a lump, and it hurt so bad for like a month. And I hit my elbow, and that was the most pain I think I've ever felt in my life. And it hurt so bad. I couldn't even bend it. It was all swollen. And one time,
Look at my boy. Jimmy's
yeah.
just saying he's drunk. But I'm just toasting to Jimmy.
Jimmy. Hey, John.
Here,
If
got teeth.
well,
you know,
it looks like something else. I don't know.
I've been living at this house for like 3 years, but at my old house, I had a BMX/RC track in my backyard, and I had these jumps, right? And I had my BMX bike, man, like a really expensive BMX bike, and I used to just like put all my Star Wars toys and jump over them like a little kid. But there was this one time, dude, I was out there by myself, took this big jump, tried to do like a tabletop, didn't land it, and my ribs just hit like the handlebars, knocked the wind out of me, and I was in my backyard by myself for like an hour on the ground, like, help me. Feeling like I was gonna die because I knocked the wind out of myself. I couldn't move, and there was nobody there. I just sat on the ground for like an hour, like, man, what am I doing? I'm 40 years old.
Question: how many bones have you broken in your lifetime?
I broke each arm twice skating.
Oh, so four times. Okay, I broke both arms as well. I've broken my leg twice, my foot, My finger, but I don't really count that as my finger.
This arm right here is crooked, like it healed crooked. I don't know if you can tell.
Probably, Sean.
Because one of the times that I broke my arm, I was in a cast. I was in a cast, and my dad told me, "You better not fucking go out there and play any sports or fuck around till your arm heals." Mm-hmm. And I went to the park and I was playing soccer. I was playing goalie. Man, some dude kicked the ball hard, hit me right in the cast. I mean, it hurt like hell. But I was afraid to tell my dad. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't tell him that I was playing sports. Like a month later, when I went to go take my cast off, like it was all crooked. So they had to re-break it. They had to re-break my arm.
That's terrible.
I got a better story than that, bro. So me and my brother were fighting. You know, we were playing, but ended up fighting, you know, because he pissed me off. He hit me, so I hit him back. So my brother, I had my arm kind of like in a push-up position, and he jumped on it, snapped. Basketball tryout. I was on the basketball team, made the team and all that. I show up to, I think it was 8th grade. I'm showing up to class. I wrapped it up myself. Homemade job. Obviously, looks like a kid did it. I'm going through class. And, you know, the teacher's asking me all these questions. How did you hurt your arm? Like, I fell. Like the generic, I fell. And all of a sudden, I go to the school nurse, and she's asking me all these questions. They start saying, are you telling us the truth? Is anything going on at home? I'm like, no, I fell. I promise. My father shows up. They're trying to call protective services. You better tell the truth. Like, I broke my arm, like, because I told him I just did it, but I obviously broke it 3 days ago and I haven't had medical attention. I was like, oh, I'm trying to hide my broken arm from my father. It's been 3 days. They almost had to break it, but they caught it in time. But yeah, they were calling protective service. They thought my dad was beating the shit out of me.
You guys have to see Jimmy Gunn's comment. His last comment.
What's my man saying? Double cast.
Double cast. Huh?
Is a double.
I got a party with them.
That's legendary. Hey,
I want to party with the National.
Chicago, baby. Chicago.
Let me tell you something with my kids that I kind of got in trouble with the authorities too. It's kind of in the same direction. But so my son, I guess he forgot to take his lunch money to school, right? So the lunch lady or whatever sent a letter with him back with him saying like, oh, he didn't pay his 75 cents for lunch today. Make sure he pays it tomorrow, right? I never saw that letter. My sister-in-law, who was at home at the time, she got that letter and wrote on there, fuck you, try to get that money from me, like wrote all kinds of shit, right? So the next day, we get a call from the school, and we go over there to talk to the principal, and there's cops there, like escorting us, and they were trying to say that we made terrorist threats, you know what I mean, towards the school. And then we're like, and then once we saw the letter, what they were talking about was like, oh, this is my crazy ass fucking meth head sister-in-law. You know what I mean? And so we had to explain all that to them and how it went. But at first, they were kind of scared about it. You know what I mean? Because of the threats.
All right, let me bring this back to baseball.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm looking at my steroids cards. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my steroid wing. Pudge Rodriguez is in the hall, right? I'm not that drunk. He's in the hall.
Yeah, he is.
His teammates in Texas, correct me if I'm wrong, Palmero, Canseco, someone else, Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Correct. He's been implicated in several documents. I mean, A-Rod's never going to make it. Bond has a chance. I get that. But David Ortiz, a mother trucking Red Sox, is up for the Hall. Is it next year or the year after?
I think everybody's talking about next year he's up already. Because I've been hearing his name a lot.
Now, people love Big Papi. You know what? I hate to say it. Great personality. I like watching him. And he's great on TV. Is he going to have a shot at the Hall?
Yeah, he will.
I mean, he's been implicated. He tested positive in 03. He tested positive, but no one talks about it. He's on the right team. He's on a Red Sox. I mean, he's a Boston Red Sox popular team, lovable, greatest DH of all time.
He's gonna be in.
But I mean, he tested positive.
Yeah, but his personality is gonna overshadow that.
I mean, but A-Rod's dating J-Lo, so people are starting to like him now.
Yeah. Dude. People that meet A-Rod in person fall in love with him. Yeah. I've seen so many people from the press that said they hated him, but when they interviewed him, they fell in love with him.
Yeah, but he probably won't make the 696 home runs. He probably won't make the Hall of Fame.
Dude, and that's crazy because he wanted to hit his 700, and the Yankees pretty much didn't let him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they didn't want to play him.
David Ortiz,
let's go back to Ortiz. So, drugs aside, does he have a Hall of Fame career?
I don't think so. But
what's your argument to put him in the Hall?
He's just known for being clutch. You know, he's got his moments.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Kind of same argument with Schilling. I mean, Schilling has a 3,000 Ks, but besides that, I think regular season, fuck the bloody sock. I mean, that thing was ridiculous. It was a scab on his foot. It wasn't that dramatic, but he did show up. I mean, but the thing is, David Ortiz brought Boston 2 championships. I mean, Boston was cursed, and he broke the curse. And he's been lucky. He had the famous Boston. He had the Boston.
He broke that curse?
Huh?
He did?
A lot of fans will contribute that to him, though. Dude, a big thing with David Ortiz.
The laser show? Come on.
Yeah, a big thing with David Ortiz is his Boston Strong speech that he gave after the Boston bombing. That elevated him a lot.
I love Ortiz. I mean, there's nothing not to like about Ortiz. I don't know if he should be in the Hall of Fame though. That's all I'm saying. I mean, to me, he was like a Mo Vaughn kind of a player.
I completely agree. But I mean, he does have the moments of, and it hurts me to say when they came back from 03, being down 3 games and coming back. That fucking killed me. That's almost as bad as the Reggie Miller.
In this modern day with the juice ball, it's not that big of a deal to hit home runs. I mean, it's not. Rookies hit 50. Rookies hit 50. And we went, 3 decades with only 3 players hitting 50? And now everybody does it. They just come up and they hit 50. I mean, home runs alone should not get you into the Hall of Fame unless you're the all-time king. I don't know how many DHs are in the Hall of Fame.
Edgar.
I agree.
Just Edgar.
The Hall of Fame has definitely been watered down the last couple of decades. You know, every decade it seems to be getting watered down a little bit more and a little bit more. Because people that love to compare stats. So you say, hey, well, if you compare Harold Baines to so-and-so Hall of Famer, he hit more hits than him in this category.
Well,
so a lot of people will try to justify them getting into a Hall of Fame over one category over one Hall of Famer that's already in.
Well, I don't think the Hall of Fame is getting watered down. I mean, the Harold Baines thing is ridiculous, but the writers didn't put him in. It's people who've been there day in, day out. It's the veterans committee. I think that holds more weight. If the writers put Harold Baines in, then that I will have an issue. But it was the players that put him in.
Yeah.
So those guys did it. So if they respected Baines that much, then I have to respect that. The writers, if they did it, then I would have an issue. But it was Baines, so I don't really buy the whole Baines argument.
But how we said before is like when he got into the Hall, people dug through their comment boxes and found Harold Baines rookie. It's like if he really had a Hall of Fame career, he would not have been in a side note in your collection.
Yeah, Sean Beeford, Gil Hodges probably should be in. He's like a Dave Parker kind of a player. Now, let me tell you this. Al Oliver, if you put up his stats against Duke Snyder, he beats him in every category but home runs. Their stats are almost identical, except Al Oliver has way more hits. He has I think a higher batting average. And he just has, not nearly as many home runs. But if you look at every other category, you can make an argument for Al Oliver being in the Hall of Fame.
Well, my biggest gripe right now, like someone I saw, because I didn't have cable. It was always WGN and TBS. Was Crime Dog. You telling me Crime Dog hit seven?
Yeah, Fred McGriff, man.
Seven
Well,
more
look
home
at
runs. He's a Hall of Famer, but because he didn't hit seven more.
But
No,
one
he
of
was
the reasons
a great player.
I
Yeah.
believe this is just me. One of the reasons that Fred McGriff can't get in is because a lot of people who are on the edge, like they should be in,
Yeah,
normally
let's go.
normally their team makes a push for them to get in. You know, like they sponsor him or whatever. Fred McGriff was in so many teams that I don't think any team kind of associates him with like, oh, he's part of our team. Nobody has adopted him, to try to
Yeah, well, he
represent
didn't play in a big. I mean, imagine if he played for the Yankees. Will we be talking about him differently?
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
look at
big time.
somebody like
The Yankees
Cecil.
will promote him.
Look at somebody like Cecil Cooper. He's never going to get any love playing where he
Yeah,
played.
he was a star player.
And Robin Yount, I mean, even though he's in the Hall, I mean, he never gets any love,
You know,
man, whatsoever. Nothing.
that's why it's surprising Yelich gets so much love.
KBO, that's a nice pull, KBO. I got an Al Oliver autograph right here, helmet. And I have his bat. Along with my man Bill Madlock, 4-time batting champ.
Bill Madlock.
Phil Rizzuto.
That's a great name. I always thought he was a junkyard dog.
Well, so let's talk about that Phil Rizzuto, for instance. So the game has changed. When Phil Rizzuto played, and when Ty Cobb played, and when just about everybody else played up until the modern last decade or two, have shortstops coming up, hitting 50 home runs or 40 home runs or 30 home runs. Like, it was a different game, and so players made the Hall of Fame based on the position they played, right?
Yep.
And if you go throughout time and you want to talk about the top, 30 shortstops throughout history, Phil Rizzuto's in that conversation. Now you can't compare his batting. I always get mad, like, when people compare Bill Mazeroski's batting. Well, they didn't compare with Ozzie Smith, and Mazeroski has to be the best defensive second baseman to ever play. I mean, the guy's holds all-time record for leading the league in assists. Everybody that ever watched him kind of regards him as, potentially the best defensive second baseman of all time. And everybody wants to knock him for being in the Hall of Fame because they say, oh, he's only known for one home run. No, he was probably the best defensive second baseman ever. And if you're going to let Ozzie Smith in with a bad batting average, you got to let Bill Mazeroski in. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ozzie Smith being in. If you watched him as I watched him, not only that, as a groundskeeper and knowing how fields were kept back in those days and how prevalent bad hops were just a part of the game back then. Now one bad hop in a game is like, dude, groundskeepers get hell for it. Like, you can't have a single bad hop. That's blasphemy to have a bad hop. When that's what made, like, Ozzie Smith's real tape were bad hops, like reaching for the ball and grabbing it barehanded. You know what I mean? Off a bad hop.
I have 2 points. First, Sean, you're right. He was like the first big home run hitter. You have a good point for him. And back to your point, Mazeroski played that era in the 1960 World Series. Kubek took a ball to the throat because it came off of a piece of a rock. I don't know if you remember that, but they had to stop the game. He took a ball right in his throat. But yeah, these as you manicure them. These things are like totally, perfectly manicured these days. It's just like I was saying earlier, playing off the AstroTurf. There was never a bad hop. Never a bad hop.
Well, speaking of Ozzie paved the way for people like Vizquel, who should be in the Hall. I think Vizquel's a Hall of Famer. Living Gold Gloves. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was such a good.
Yeah. I mean, you would agree, right? The Hall of Fame, it is offensively charged, right?
As opposed to like the Heisman, who has the praise.
Yeah.
But the game has changed. You're correct, John. The game has changed. The magical numbers, 500. I think 3,000 is still a legit number. 3,000 hits is 3,000 hits. But 500, I mean, fuck. If Hayrod, if the thing is, I mean, A-Rod, if Judge stayed healthy, he'll hit 500 by year 10. You know what I'm saying? I
With
mean,
a
500 is not
183
that
batting
magical number, huh?
with a 183 batting average.
No, that's Stanton. That's Stanton.
You leave Stanton alone, Mister.
Judge Judy, as my
No,
boy Caesar likes to say, Judge Judy is the,
I'm a big Judge fan. I mean, when
I
he
love
comes
Judge.
to the plate, it's something special. You're just waiting to see something special.
Oh my God. I mean, just seeing a guy 6'7", like, I mean, he's a tight end playing the game, and he's great in the outfield. He's great in the field.
Did you
Dude,
see the home run derby where he hit it off the ceiling of the stadium? I was like, Jesus.
He's
see,
so
like
beautiful.
me, I appreciate talent and skills. You know, like I love Aaron Judge. I'm a big Aaron Judge fan. You know, I love what he does. I was a big fan of him. But 3 years ago, I was having this thing with Victor Negron, and I was telling him, do you notice that you're over there in New York and you pull a bunch of Bellingers and Corey Seagers, and I'm over here in LA and I'm pulling a bunch of Judges, you know,
You
and
do that
so
shit on purpose, bro.
so that was my thing. I was known for pulling Aaron Judge cards left and right. So then I started like, man, stupid Judge Judy and this and that. It's kind of a joke, and people are like, oh, Pepino hates Aaron Judge. I was like, no, I'm just being funny. You know what I mean?
That's funny because I pulled a bunch of them too here in South Carolina.
Send them to me. I saw you pull that label, that gold, was it Topps gold label, Judge Judy auto?
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah, it's numbered to 10 or something.
Yeah, I was drooling over that one. I'm like, man, this guy in Cali's pulling it, and I'm pulling down Corey Seagers and Bellies. I traded a couple of my Belly rookies because I couldn't pull, for whatever reason, I couldn't pull a Topps update Acuna. Couldn't pull it.
See,
so
like
I traded a couple Bellies for that. Huh?
When I got back, when I was heavy into collecting, before I started my YouTube channel, let's say like 10 years ago, on Instagram, on Facebook, that was the great thing about social media to me, is that I could get Clayton Kershaw cards, you know, all these LA stars from people from Boston for cheap because they didn't like them. And then I would send them my, you know, Manny Ramirez cards and my, you know, Rodriguez cards because they loved them and I didn't. You know what I mean? So we each appreciated, you know, and it was cheap. But now it's like everybody, all the prices are across the board now. They're universal, you know? When before a Jeter card was cheaper to get in LA than in New York. Now it's even across the board, it seems like.
Right. It's funny you say Manny Ramirez. He was probably one of my favorite players to watch. Even though he was a Red Sox, I loved watching. I mean, hitting the cutoff man. And I mean, I just loved him. You know,
he was good. He was a good player.
He was a character. And he was a character, you know? He had it all.
Right-handed hitter, probably one of the best right-handed hitters I've ever seen. Just,
I remember that pinnacle rookie card of his, like it was yesterday. Like I just got it, you know.
Indians card?
Yeah.
I love Manny, man.
I always picture that because it looks nothing like him. You know, he didn't look like that for very long. By the time he was popular, he didn't look like that anymore.
God damn, we still got 35 people watching. I'm gonna have to keep going.
Oh, what's that?
35 people watching.
Holy cow! Don't you people have lives?
Yeah, I don't know if I should get another beer yet. I've drank quite a few, but man, hey, this is great, man. I love how we're just no plan. You know what I mean? I love how we have no plan, no nothing. We're just shooting the shit, you know?
Yeah, it's the art of talking about nothing, right? Yeah. It's like a Seinfeld episode.
It's a Seinfeld episode. Yeah, it's a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do nothing. It's gonna be a show about nothing.
Jerk store. I should have said jerk store.
No soup for you.
You kind of look like the soup Nazi, bro.
All right, man. I got a busy work day tomorrow.
I'm the menudo Nazi.
You got to work tomorrow, brother?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got a lot going on. So this is a little past my bedtime. I mean, I might.
You got to go work today. You got to go work today. It's 12:10.
Oh, yeah. I got to work today.
Well, it's been fun. I mean, if you gotta get off, I'm just gonna watch Night Stalker on Netflix. I'm addicted to that. That shit's so good.
I just watched that. That was a big thing because I was in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? My friend his grandpa just sold one of those houses where one of those couples were killed.
Oh,
And
really?
he was telling me that he lived with his grandpa most of his teenage years, but his grandpa never told him, that he bought the house for cheap because Manny Ramirez killed him.
Oh,
Not Manny Ramirez, Richard Ramirez. Yeah. But trip out on this. He was like telling me, my grandpa just sold the house and he had to tell the people for whatever reason
yeah.
that, Richard Ramirez killed a bunch of people in there. So this is the first time I ever found out about that. But I had a friend who was super religious who would never go into my sister's bedroom. And it turns out that was the bedroom that, the people got killed and that he sensed evil, his whole life. But hey, that's a trip, man.
KBO, hey, dude. I just wanted to ask KBO where he was in Korea.
He's still in Korea.
Yeah, I said Manny Ramirez instead of Richard Ramirez killed people.
Yeah, my man lives in Korea right now. I asked him the other day.
Korea? That's cool. I was in Seoul years ago. Of course, my wife is from Korea.
Oh, who are you, Carmen Sandiego? Where haven't you been, John? God.
I used to go on the all kind of crazy countries. I was in the United Arab Emirates before anybody ever heard of it. I came back. I said, "This is going to be the next big thing, man."
Yeah, you see my man Jimmy.
I was in Windhoek, Namibia, long before Brad and Angelina started adopting kids from there. Nobody had ever heard of it when I was there.
Yo, Jimmy said you got to be at 6 a.m. nunchuck practice.
I saw busting my chops.
Hey,
Jimmy Guns.
All I could think was, I'm like, my man's doing nunchucks in the living room. Don't hit that big screen, bro. I'm just waiting for the nunchuck to fly.
Full control. I'm in full control. When I taught myself to juggle, I would go in the kitchen when my mom was there, and I would grab 3 eggs out of the refrigerator, and I go, "Mom, watch," and I'd juggle these eggs, and she'd be freaking out and yelling at me.
Bro, get 3 slabs and start juggling and go.
3 slabs. Oh man.
Yeah, I want to see that.
That'd be so dope, bro. I'll share that on
I don't think I could do slabs.
Let's get you 10,000 views. Go.
I wouldn't want to do slabs, but I could juggle.
Hey, you should try that, John. See if you can do that in a future video. Practice it.
Yeah, bro.
You're the first person I ever see do that.
You got some junk wax and some slabs that you can because if it cracks,
maybe
slab, bro. Just crack the slab.
Maybe I'll do some autographed baseballs. I'll be like Pepino Man, no protection, just raw.
That's 2011 update. Trout and the Mickey Mantles drove me bananas. I'm pretty sure I sent you a message like, bro, sleeve that up or put it in a one touch, bro. 2011 Trout. He's like, oh, I got one of these, and he just throws it back in the box or whatever the fuck he had it. I'm like, bro, I love it though because you love the hobby is the life. You know what I'm saying? You're not there for the flipping. It drives me crazy because I got my buddy back into the hobby. I'm sure you guys had it. Oh, I have cards. Your best friend or your friends like, oh, I have cards. I found them in the attic, and they come over, and I remember my buddy. He brought them over. I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, this is an okay card. This is okay. He had like a '84 Madden League. He had a Mariano rookie, but beat to shit. I mean, these cards were loved. And I'm telling him, I'm like, this is great. He's like, and he comes into the man cave. He's like, but my collection sucks. And I'm trying to tell him, like, I don't know how to explain this, brother. This is the foundation of your knowledge. This is where we learn about cards. This is where you learn how to feel. This is how you learn how to smell the cards. I still go to the flea market and ask the guy, is it cool if I take it out of the top loader so I can smell the card? And and my buddy was just like so confused. Now he's on to he's an IT guy. So he knows about the bots, and he got into the Montgomery Club, and all he fucking does is flip soccer cards and garbage pail cards and sapphire, and it drives me crazy because that's not. Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent now. Hey, where's Egg? I'm going on a rant. It just drives me crazy.
If there's money to be made, if there's money to be made, people are gonna come, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe in capitalism. I believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't. That's not. That's not what I'm about.
Well, see, that's like I get asked constantly, like, what do I think about Gary Vee? I said, I think he's great. You know, he's cool. I watch a lot of his stuff. I think he's a cool dude. I just wish he stayed out of my hobby. You know what I mean?
Go flip sneakers again. Go.
Yeah.
They
I
weren't
have no
getting
problem with him. I just wish he stopped pumping up my hobby.
Yeah,
because he's got followers. He's got
costing me
cronies,
money.
man. Yeah.
Cars I could get for $100 are now $300.
Hey, you know what? Let's just stay on here for like 24 hours. Maybe we'll get into the Hall of Fame for longest live feed in history.
Let's do. I think I'm gonna be on the outside looking in, but for everyone who dropped my name, I appreciate it. Much love. I'm very humble. I've only been on YouTube for a year, and I've been hearing my name out there, so I really appreciate that. But I'm down for longest. I'm off tomorrow, so I ain't got shit to do.
All right, you guys want to do this again tomorrow?
I want to do a 24 hours. Nah, I'm kidding. This has been a marathon session. This is like that Kellen Winslow performance in that playoff game against.
I'm gonna have to call Pablo Escobar if I want to do 24 hours.
Yo, we should do that for Hobby Palooza. I did that for Jeopardy. Mike called me for Jeopardy. That was fun. So I'm down for a Hobby Palooza 24-hour live. I don't know. I don't think my wife would be down for that.
Yeah, I don't think mine would either. But
hey, where's she gonna go?
Look at you guys all talk and then hacking.
Hey, you know what? Hey, she ain't going nowhere. I've been with her 21 years. Where's she gonna go? Where's she gonna go?
I don't know if I could talk for 24 hours. My throat's sore now. How long we've been going at this?
Bro, drink more tea.
We're getting 3 hours.
The whole thing.
Almost 3 hours.
Well, half of it.
Hey, Cesar. Hey, make sure you got my right phone number because the original one I sent you was wrong. I think that's where you sent the link. Some guy.
Yeah, you sent me one with 913 and one with 813. Which one is it?
813. 813.
Okay.
Yeah, but after he told us that, you kept sending messages to that other person.
Yeah, on the 9.
Cracking up every time I get a text, it's on the wrong one. And that person, they responded with some kind of meme, some kind of baby meme, and they said wrong number, wrong something else. I don't know. And then he just keeps doing it. And then he sends them the link to this. I mean, I'm surprised some stranger didn't jump on.
That would have been dope.
We probably got a thumbs down from that person.
Oh, do we have
a thumbs
down?
We're sure.
You get a thumbs down, that means you got haters. If you got haters, you're winning. But where we at? We got thumbs down? I didn't even see.
All right, guys. I gotta go.
All right, guys. Man, we'll do this again whenever. We'll do this again whenever, guys.
Here, man. Nice being on here with you.
Yes.
I'm down to do this whenever you want.
All right. Love the hobby, people. Keep collecting baseball cards forever, ese.
Peace out,
Adios, amigos.
See ya, brother.